Yeah, that was so BS. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that Midday Show. That is your girl, Satay, the crypto queen.
What's up? And this is Sharif, as you should know.
I love that. I love how you always introduce me. That's good. That's going to be a little thing. We're going to do our shout out for everybody. Shout out to Darwin. Stan Lee, did you say what is a Canada in the chat? He's cruising for a block in there. Oh, okay. Sea Battles, Other Zinc, Scott H. What's up, my man? Some small cap gappers to discuss today. Proper Paradox. Shout out to Unrog, Adam Deluce, Numero 5. There we go. We got Magender, Stock Up, Cesar, Sandoval, and Glenn Smith joining us as well. We got Cass. We got Small Town Pyro, Betson Burrell, Italian Honeybees. We got Parabolic, FOMO, Rip, whatever, bro. Jorge, Catman, Scott Edwards, Hurry. Shout out to C Battles, Paul, Epic Strategy, Ezekiel. We got Brendan. We got Amoy. Why not? Even Rob EV is joining us as well as Leroy Brown. We got Ron Campbell, Junior Son. Eclectic Passions. Will Not Know joining us as well. G Van Dewey. Okay. We got TX Trader, Coop, LMB Photos. And we got, it's just moving too quickly here.
Ooh,
Milky Fade. You got a name you want to see?
Yes, we got Jose Rodriguez, we got Yoel Rena, we got Helgi S, Flawed Thinker, that is funny. Epic Strategy, Juiced, Autistic Machine, oh my gosh, Louis Lugo, Dad Trader, shout out to you, shout out to the Dads Trading, putting that food on the table. Epic Strategy again, Samuel Amada. Hello to you guys.
All right,
welcome.
UVA, the great author. I skipped your name because it's kind of hard to say, but there you go. It's in the book for you. Good morning, Stay. How's it going?
Good, good. Today is a great day. A little bit sick, but we got a lesson for you guys.
Dang.
We got it here. So today we will be covering the 9-day EMA. So that is what I'm going to get into today.
I think we got a weasel to Adara super quick. She's got some for us, and we're going to start as soon as we get back.
Yes.
According to McDonald's website, apparently 75 people have been infected here with this outbreak. Strain of E. coli have been reported from 13 states. So MCD on watch saying on their website that as of October 24th, they know of 75 people infected by the E. coli strain from 13 states. Keep in mind, this was announced on Tuesday. We knew of 49 people in 10 states. So 75 people infected within 13 states. We already know 10 were hospitalized as of Tuesday, and one unfortunately had passed away. So MCD pushing into lows here, but finding support off, bouncing as of right now off previous support at 296, guys.
Yeah, that's a bad headline there. You don't want to see that. McDonald's going to be on watch, guys. 1.5% and bleeding more. I just got the headline as well. Thank you, Adara, for bringing that. We're going to keep tabs on that. Satya, not a good look. 75 people infected with a strain of E. coli. That ain't the look.
That is nasty. That is gross.
Oh.
So McDonald's, you need to do better, man. You need to do better for real. But today we will be getting into the lesson. So the reason why I wanted to cover this was because I was struggling a little bit with my own strategy. So when I first developed my VWAP floor and VWAP ceiling execution strategy, one thing I struggled with most was staying convicted in the trade after the ticker extended further away from VWAP. So if you guys know, if you guys heard me, I love my VWAP. I like to get in, near VWAP. So, my strategy is heavily dependent on executing as close to VWAP as possible. However, during instances where I miss the move, I will use the pre-market high or the day's high as further confirmation, but sometimes when it even gets above that pre-market high or that day's high, then I was just like, oh no, what do I do? Like, how do I continue the trade? And so I really wanted to refine that and get better and, use a tool where I can have more conviction in the trade even after it extends above those levels. So that is what I wanted to get into. So, so although my strategy had edge at these levels, a disadvantage that I had when I first developed the trade was the fact that I was only taking one scalp and exiting the trade too early without attempting to re-enter at higher prices due to feeling the move was overextended. So in most cases, the trade would continue for another $2 to $3, but I felt I did not have a clear place to kind of risk off of. So it wasn't until I started to use the 9 EMA where I started to feel confident in staying in trades for a longer period of time, taking trades that extended from my execution anchor and re-entering trades at higher price levels. So I'm going to get into that. So today we are going to get into that. So today we will be covering how to use the 9 EMA for identifying dip buy opportunities, identifying support and resistance levels, identifying change in trend structures, take profit levels, timing entries and my exits or your exits. And let's get into it. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of a structure of like how, what my thought process is and what my strategy kind of looks like. So typically what I like to do is I like to get in above the pre-market highs. So typically if I'm trying to get in, my entries are usually looking like around here, around the pre-market high, close to VWAP as well, and then the break of the day's high, and I'll usually get in there. So usually when I get in around here, I was taking profits here with my old strategy, but then I would miss this entire move because I didn't know, like, you know, how do I get back in? Like, how do I weasel my way in? I was really struggling with that, and I would just leave a lot of money on the table, and I was getting sick and tired of that. So, just wanted to show you guys that. And so something that really helps is, you know, posting your limit orders at 9 EMA levels. So when you're going for long, you're using the limit order at the bottom of the 9 EMA, and then if you're going short, you're using the limit order at the top of the 9 EMA. So what does that look like? What do I mean by that? So rather than getting in at the market price, you can use the 9 EMA to get better entry prices. Typically, if a trade is trending in one direction, it will trail the 9 EMA. So for example, rather than getting in at 139.58, this was around the market price, rather than getting in there, if you're trying to, you know, follow the trend and get in at a better price, it's probably better for you to get in at the 9 EMA and post your limit order there rather than getting it on the breakdown there. So that's just something that I had found. And then another example that I have here, I just like to show you guys multiple examples. So again, placing my limit order at the top of the 9 EMA. So this is a short example. So if I'm going short, rather than getting here at 154.40 where the market price is, I want to get in around 154.90 because typically with the 9 EMA, typically the trend will trail the 9 EMA. So typically it will revisit that level as well. So that is what I'm looking at, and that's where I'd rather get in there. And then another part where this was actually today, and I made sure to take a picture while it was kind of live because I wanted to show you exactly what I was talking about. So at 9:30, around 9:30, 9:35 a.m., this was the structure of NVIDIA. And so one thing that I struggled with a lot of the time, I would be getting in here at the market price. But I was just like, how can I really make sure that I'm not, you know, incurring too much drawdown and I can get in at a better price while still following the trend? So rather than getting in at around 142.65, it's better for you to get in around at this 9 EMA level. This was it extended, and then usually it will show here, like there is this gap here. And exactly, so I took this picture like live, right? And then when I took the next screenshot of it, it exactly went to the price that I wanted it to, right at that 9 EMA. So rather than getting in again right at that 142.65 and then incurring that, you know, $1.50 drawdown, it was better for me to get in at that 9 EMA price. So that was today, that was live, it worked out. So it works. Hey. And so I wanted to show you how the trade played out as well. So this is where I took the screenshot, and then it did make its way down to that level. So really nice look there. Yeah, so another thing that I was looking at as well is like the VWAP plus EMA cross. So I find a lot of the time I want more conviction in my, you know, VWAP floor type of trades. And so sometimes I'll get bamboozled, but I find the 9 EMA, once it starts to trail the 9 EMA, I have more conviction. So this was a picture that I took live as well. This was like, imagine that we were here, right? Imagine that these two candles weren't there. So you just see the top, and then you see this gap here. You want to get in the fill closer to that 9 EMA rather than at the top while it's extending up. Just, you could get a better price, you know what I mean? And so how that played out as well, just showing you guys a picture. That is exactly how it played out. It bounced off of that 9 EMA, and then it bounced exactly off of that. So really nice look there, really helped me today in my trading, so really nice as well. So I know some of you already know about the 9 EMA, but I wanted to talk about looking at it from different time frames and how that could kind of change your strategy. So the 3 to 5 minute time frame scalping strategy, this is just something that I use personally. So the 3 to 5 minute time frame is best used for staying convicted in a trade you are currently in by trailing the 9 EMA. If I'm going long, for example, and the trade continuously trails the 9 EMA without breaking structure, I will continue to hold the trade. I will not take profits until the 9 EMA structure breaks. This helps to prevent premature profit taking or holding the trade against you or myself. So a lot of the time, if I'm getting in around here, for example, my old trade strategy, I would get in and get out within, 1 to 2 candles on the 3 minute. But the EMA allows me to hold it, and I'm holding it until it breaks this kind of level. And so once it breaks there, that's when I'll take off my full position rather than just scalping here for that small move and missing out on this action. I can, hold it for a longer period of time and then have more confirmation that there is a reversal rather than just getting out prematurely just because I feel like it. So that is that. And then I find that the higher time frames, so the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 day, is great for identifying the bounce and dip buy opportunities, support and resistance zones, key pivotal levels, or early indications of change in trend structure. So what do I mean by that? So with this picture, when you're looking for, the support and resistance zones, when it's below the 9 EMA, typically it will trail and you'll have the candles below it, and then this could easily identify a downtrend. And then as it crosses the 9 EMA, it starts to build up into a long trend and like a bullish trend. And so what has made me identify these best is finding 2 candlesticks closing below the 9 EMA. So if I'm looking for a bearish structure, I want to see 2 candles close below the 9 EMA. So what I'm looking at is the break below here, and then there is a bounce, but it didn't close above the 9 EMA. I want to make sure I see 2 candles close. So I show here with the 2 pink arrows, this close, and then that gives me more confirmation for the short. And then if I'm looking for a long position, a change in structure, I'm looking for 2 bullish candles above the 9 EMA. So typically this is on the daily chart, just to make sure that you guys are on the same page here. And so I want to see 2 bullish daily candles close above the 9 EMA, and that gives me a change in structure for the transition into a long position. And so that's what I'm looking at. And then I show you here again, once it switches, we have the close below the 9 EMA, have that 1 candle. It did try to get up, it bid it up, but it didn't close below until the 3rd day here. And then there's more confirmation for the short there. So just wanted to show you guys that. So, so another example that I have is the 9-day EMA dip buy pullback opportunity using going long. So on a higher time frame, so the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the 1 day, the 9 EMA can be used to identify dip buy or pullback opportunities. So rather than getting in at the market price, as I was saying, of 258.20, you can get in at 248 for a potential pullback. If the trend is strong, there could be a bounce at or around the 9 EMA level. So yes, rather than getting in there, you don't want to be trigger happy, wait a little bit of a pullback, and then I want to see what is happening there. I want to see a little bit of a bounce there. Typically, I don't place my orders right there. I typically like to put what is it called? Not a target, but what's it called? A trigger? No. A target.
Your target price? Like, what do you mean?
Like an alert is what I meant. Yes, an alert. So rather than putting my order at that level, I put an alert at that level. So rather than just posting there, I put the alert, wait for it to get to that level, and then I see the reaction at that level. So sorry, a little bit of a brain fart there. It has been a long day. but so yeah, so I use the alert, and then if I like the price action at that level, then I will start to put in my order. So then I also use the 1 day as, you know, an indicator for a change in structure. So I was talking a little bit about this, showing you guys. So the beginning of a new trend structure can be identified by at least 2 one-day candles crossing and closing above or below the 9 EMA. So again, 2 candlesticks closing above the 9 EMA is the beginning of a bullish trend, and then 2 candlesticks below the 9 EMA is the beginning of a bearish trend. So just going over that. And then we could see a little bit of the structure there, just a different kind of picture there, just so you guys are visual. And then, so I use the 15 and 30-minute time frame, and I find that these are best for identifying early changes in trend patterns or reversals. So this was Tesla from yesterday, and so we see this clear trend up. But I wanted to see, you know, how can we identify a potential pullback or a little bit of a break in the trend early? You want to make sure, you know, you get those early, especially if you're like a person that does, you know, trend reversal type of trades or reversions like OB. You want to get in early, right? And so I think this is definitely useful if you're that type of trader. So I was looking at this yesterday. So this was on the 15 and 30-minute time frame. So I took this picture yesterday, and this is what it looked like. And I was looking at it on the 30-minute time frame, and I was noticing that it was starting to break the 9 EMA. And you could kind of notice and see with the red kind of line here, starting that initiation of that break in structure. And then as I look on the next day, you can see that it was around this time, and then it did break through that level, holding, you know, below that 9 EMA, and then it continued into the pre-market. Not necessarily, you know, during intraday, because it did blast off from there, but it was a little, like, if you are a person that trades, you know, the aftermarket to the pre-market, this is a setup that could have been useful for you. And then I also identified Apple on the 15-minute for identification of a reversal as well. So looking at that on the 15-minute, I saw this break of trend here, saw the red line here, and then we were the candles were closing below the 9 EMA, and then that still continued into the pre-market for today. So that was that. And then same thing, just giving you guys different examples. So this is on the 30-minute for Tesla as well. This was the aftermarket. And then this is how it played out, just the full type of picture. And that is all. That is my lesson for today.
Fantastic look, man. I mean, I really do. I like the double candle close below the 9 EMA as your bullish look. That is something that I have the same thing, but it's called a 3-candle close, and doesn't really. It's not a 3-day close, it's a 3-period close. If you're charting off the weekly, it's 3 weeks below whatever level you're looking at. If you're charting off the daily, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of a similar look there. I really like that.
Yeah,
that's a sound strategy. I do appreciate you dropping hot lines today on the lessons. Hey,
thank you.
Kiss me a day off. Guys, I did okay here with the Cybertruck. We took $1 on TSLA. It's up 2%. Appreciate you, Adara. This one got in because it did decidedly break the volume weighted average price. It currently is. It's zigging and zagging right now with about $266 acting as a bit of a top. But when you zoom in a bit more, we have a symphony here of higher lows, which means buyer exuberance, buying it up at incrementally higher and higher prices. So good look for TSLA. I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at the ZON, AMZN. Beautiful, beautiful dip into the volume weighted average price. This is where the dip was on the 5. I'll show you guys my chart in a hot second. Let's bring that bad boy down and have a look at Amazon, because it looks to be curling up here quite nicely, knocking on that door of the high of day 190.45, but it was able to take 190 on this latest ascent. That initial move up, though, the IB high implied balance high is 190.45. So we'll be looking for a break and take of that. Good look, though, for Amazon. Good luck for most of these Mag 7s, man. There isn't a whole lot to complain about if you're involved in a Mag 7 name. Meta is off the highs, but there's not a whole lot to complain about today in Mag 7. But we're going to weasel up to the green screen to talk with Adara, and she's got Sector Watch.
Yeah, I guess this output indicator that I hear about appears to be working today. We have a lot of strength here in this S&P 500. I'm going to talk here about 3 names that are sharply to the upside on the S&P, all of which have deal-related catalysts. So we'll start here with TPR, Tapestry, moving kind of the opposite of Capri, down from its highs, but still up about 14% here yesterday. There was a decision made by a judge on this FTC's request to rule against Tapestry's planned acquisition of Capri. The judge decided that this acquisition would not be allowed to go forward. Tapestry and Capri are apparently looking to appeal the decision. Tapestry, though, getting a nice upgrade here from $50 to $65 price target increase from Wells Fargo. So TPR up after that FTC announcement. Next up, we have Palantir, PLTR. This is making a great look with these flat top and these higher lows. CEO Alex Karp was on CNBC yesterday discussing his partnership with L3 Harris, which also posted an earnings beat yesterday. So LHX and PLTR nicely up there. Last but not least, Intel, INTC. Initially, this headline was circulating around Twitter with a little bit of uncertainty. Then Reuters clarifies Intel announcing plans to invest more than $28 billion for the construction of these chip factories in Licking County, Ohio. So Intel here with some more chip factories. That's the Intel on that one. If you guys like any of these tickers, get in the chat, !join, space, $, and the ticker of your choice so we know what you're looking at today.
Thank you very much, Adara. All right, Nimit bringing a new small cap gapper to my attention. Shout out to the OG Nimit. ANTE, looking at that boy, bad boy right now. He initially showed it to me. I said, Nimit, I'm not really down with the volume, but you are absolutely right, Nimit. In the last few minutes, we were pumping some higher volume here, but I don't want this to be a V-shaped retracement, and there it goes. Up into 54, down into 44. This ain't the look, Nimit. The closing price yesterday, about 39, 40 pennies, give or take. So this is going to have to recover super quick, or this is one of those ones that doesn't even hang around for like a short while. It doesn't even sit down for a cup of coffee. It's gone. We'll wait and see, obviously, if it is able to recover. Let's bring in the side charts, though, and talk a little bit about the small cap gappers. There's not a whole lot today. I see Michel Hebert in the chat, and he's been talking about GME. We'll cover that in a hot second. But I've got UPXI. Now, this one was the leading gapper on the day. In fact, it still is 264%. But as you can see, when we have a bit of a closer look here, trading below the volume weighted average price, which will always be the white line on my charts. And what I also don't like about this is it's got umpteen amount of wick breaches of VWAP only to weasel back down and close below the volume weighted average price. Well, what is that saying to you? Well, someone's clearly using VWAP here, either to take profits, reinstitute shorts, add to their short position, what have you. Somebody is selling at the volume weighted average price, algo, human, or otherwise. And so I don't want any smoke until this clears and holds VWAP as a support level rather than using it as a resistance. So UPXI certainly on watch. UAVS had a really good start to its day. In fact, it even started before the bell. It started moving at 8:35, kind of gave up the ghost there, dropped below $2, but then the bell rang and all sorts of mayhem started to come into the fore because we basically pumped up from 195 into 306 quick as you like. But true to form with these small cap gappers, they're giving it up pretty quickly here. There's really a lack of continuity I'm noticing this week as compared to last with the continuity on these small cap gappers or lack thereof. So whatever, it's finding its footing for whatever reason right now at the 50 exponential moving average, which also happens to shadow the area crest from the pre. So I'm not going to trade this unless it gets above VWAP. You know my rule. LTBR, a bit of a better looker. Now, you're not getting much in the way of volume on this one. Let me double check the volume. Yeah, 2.25 million shares on a $7 name. I'm going to need a bit more. In any event, it's holding VWAP, double bottom there, breaches VWAP, and now it's trying to test that 7.5 again. Not my favorite. Certainly not my favorite. Lack of volume. We'll keep this one on watch. XPON breaking down below VWAP. Likewise is GP. This one, though, very expensive and awfully spready. But when you have a look at the chart, very directional and not giving it up like the other small cap gappers. And this is obviously not a small cap gapper. I'm talking about VKTX, Viking Therapeutics. If you watched a show yesterday, you saw me trade this bad boy, VKTX. What's the market cap today? They added a billy, not a big deal. $8 billion yesterday, $9 billion today. Good move up. 8104, respecting the 10 exponential. Your girl Satay there just gave you an entire lesson on the 9. I would submit to you the 9 and the 10 awfully close. Potato. Use them in the exact same way as she explained, because there is no difference in the use. What we have is difference in the data that's collected there between the 10 and the 9. So VKTX, certainly on watch. Adara brought this to you guys before it halted. ITRM. This is a 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I keep going? 25, 30, 35, 40-minute halt now on ITRM. Each one of these little ticks over here, if you can see it on the screen, represents 5 minutes. So this looks, I don't know if it's a volatility halt or a news pending. It's news pending, Neil? Neil's going to come on in a hot second. He's going to get mic'd up super quick. He's good to go, guys.
So just a quick look on ITRM. If we can come to my screen for a quick second. So it is news based, but news is disseminated. So T1 there, and then that's news pending, and then T3 resumption time up. News has been fully disseminated. It's got 11:30 for the resumption time here. Quotes back at 11:25. So it should open up in a couple of minutes. If you're ever curious about a halt, NASDAQtrader.com has the trade halt page. It's good for not just stocks in NASDAQ, obviously on the New York and the Amex as well. So this ITRM should open up in the next couple of minutes for everybody.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely have to have on my screen at all times. One of the screens is the halt page for the NASDAQ. Sometimes I get them on my blotter. It tells me, okay, this one's expected to do this. Sometimes I don't. Like this one, ITRM, I don't have. So that's a good reminder there from Neil. Keep that screen up. I'm almost done with my small cap cappers. I apologize. Donald John Trump, DJT. Another day for DJT up here. We're just speculating, obviously, as to why DJT is running up. He's doing Joe Rogan today. Obviously, one of the, I think the biggest podcast. I'm not sure if anybody's overtaken him quite yet, but that's going to be a big event today, and I'm assuming we're up almost 9% on DJT, possibly as a result of that, possibly forming a double top here. I don't know. Some resistance at 38.5. It's still trading above the 10 exponential, well above VWAP. I would submit to you that, putting a dip trade at VWAP on DJT, from my experience and having looked at this almost every day now the past few weeks, is it doesn't really respect the levels in the strict sense. It will wick below the levels and then end up closing above it. You're going to have to account for that if you want to set up a dip trade on DJT, especially for your stop allocation. I think that kind of that piece of information could help you. So Donald John Trump on watch here. I don't like any of the small cap gappers, save and except for VKTX, which isn't a small cap gapper, nor is DJT. But those are the ones I'm watching right now, Satya. What do you got on your board over there?
For sure. So I was Tesla as of right now. Not really a good look there. Got in around 267.75, punched out around 266.88. It did break the 9 EMA, not really liking that, so I just punched out there, not really looking too good. And then I'm going to look here at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is also very interesting. I think I'm going to wait for a little bit of a dip buy at around VWAP or a little bit of a pullback around 143.32. It is on an uptrend, but I want to make sure that I kind of get it in on a little bit of a pullback there rather than getting in at near these highs as well. So looking at that. And then I saw someone in the chat saying Intel. So I'm looking at this as well. I do like the look of this. This is bouncing off of VWAP, and so I'm looking at that. I want to see a hold of VWAP. I would think I would get in post here around 23.13. I believe if we can get up, then we can continue for the continuation of the long bus stop level around 23.30, which is those days highs. So looking really good there. I'm so glad I got out of my Tesla short, someone said. What else do we got here?
Can I just let some people know about this new
do
IPO that we have? WRD, guys. WRD on the NASDAQ, I believe it trades over here. Halted to the upside, 1973. This is an IPO. Shout out to Aldrin for alerting me to this in the chat. The name of the company is We Ride Incorporated. And obviously, I don't have too much data on it as of yet because it is an IPO. Shares traded on the day. It's halted twice so far. Both have been 5-minute, well, The first one was a 5-minute halt. We're 3 minutes deep into this halt right now. The Sharage traded on the day, a little bit less than 500,000, 419,000 guys. The low, I think this opened up at 1550. That is what I'm seeing there on my chart, 1550. The opening price for WRD Halted, 1973. No information about this company, but it is an IPO, and it's up 27.29%. So 27 and a quarter, 27 and a third right now. Just want to let you guys know about that. Again, no more information that I just mentioned right now about that stock. Sorry to interrupt you, Satya.
Yeah, no worries. So I am jumping back into Tesla. I like the fact that it bounced off of the 9 EMA again, so I am getting in there. I think I got a little bit scared and finicky, but should have held it. But I'm going to put my even stop here, 267.34s, and then 267.33 for that even stop there. And then my target level here is at right here around 269. I think that it could reasonably get up there. I like the fact that it's trailing this 9 EMA. It's above VWAP, which I really like. We still have that catalyst from the earnings, so really liking the look of that. So I definitely think that is very reasonable. So that is really looking good as of right now. And then I think I'm just going to punch out, actually. Just going to punch out really quickly there. And then we're going to move on to... We're going to move on to NVIDIA because that is moving as well. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to give me the dip buy that I need. Oh, I'm getting some type of installation prompt. Sorry, I'm going to move it over to you.
Send it. Yeah. Oh, that's Joe. You can blame Joe for that.
Okay.
He installed that on there.
Okay, fair.
I'm just joking. We love you, Joe. Okay, guys, ITRM open. Thank you, Bhavin, for letting us know that. Here's a look. ITRM zigging and zagging. Neil called it right on the dot, baby. It opens up, as he said, 218 HOD now. Big boy gap up there from the closing print. We were halted at $140, guys. We opened up at $175, dipped super quick into that $160, zigged and zagged, breaching two. Now we're somewhere in between right now. I'm just going to mention this to you guys, and you guys do as you want with this. I use these halt levels sometimes as areas of support and resistance. I don't feel that they are recyclable in the same way as price action support and resistance. What does that mean? So it might give you a quick wick or two off that halt level if it is to dip in, and then usually it does get breached. So yeah, use them sparingly, but keep that in mind. I want this one to set up, obviously, in a bit of a better way. I didn't trade that multiple halter yesterday for exactly this reason. Here we go. ITRM coming in possibly to that low. It's going to breach $150. It looks like that $140 is the halt level there, but it seems to be finding its footing at that 50 penny area. Keep your eye on ITRM if you're small cap gapper inclined. Donald John Trump is doing its absolute most to hold the 10 exponential. Shout out to Satya for dropping that lesson today, because I think it speaks volumes about how price seems to have this magnetic effect, as Obi once described it, to the 10, to the 20, whatever moving average off which you're basing it. Because, you know, the fact that it just dips into these levels and holds up is not an accident, guys. You accident once or twice, but when it does this every day, multiple times a day, it's not an accident. So that's what we're going to look for here, to take something off that with DJT. It does also look like there could be a flat top break of sorts. Neil kind of explained to you guys that bull flag look today with, I don't know which stock he was talking about, but he's been talking about bull flags a lot lately, and this is kind of setting up like one, right? Especially if we zoom out on a wider time frame. Look at what it looks like on the 15. All of a sudden, you know, that flag looking a little less long there, so the wind can keep it up. Well, in any event, so I'm going to be looking for something on a breakout here. DJT looking awfully good right now. So that is my look there. Looks like, though, the winds of change may be coming in on some of these Mag 7s, or maybe it's a midday pullback. Let's talk about it. Meta, volume weighted average price. Microsoft, volume weighted average price. Amazon, awfully close to that volume weighted average price. It's really Tesla, Google, and NVIDIA, and, you know, to some degree, Apple, really that are far away from that VWAP level for the moment. Now, Apple does look like it is breaking down. We got the 10 breach, we got a 20 breach, and the only thing that's really standing in our way right now as support from here on in is that volume weighted average price. Here comes 232, the whole dollar level getting breached right now, but some zigging and zagging right there on AAPL. I think this is the weakest of the mag today. One second, let me just double check that. It is, in fact. So Apple up 2/3, the weakest of the bunch, despite the fact that it's above VWAP right now. So it looks like Meta got its footing there at VWAP, and so did Amazon. Softy is still at VWAP though, guys. It really hasn't propelled off there. I think that, if we hold up here on the future, definitely looking for that setup. Donald John Trump just took out the top. There it is, guys. DJT looks like it's a new high of day around 38.75. Sorry. It just took out the top, and it's squeezing now. 10 and 4/5 in the green right now. Looks like we're going to breach 39 bucks soon because we're awfully close to it right now. DJT. I'm setting up something. I'm going to set up something at the $0.50, really trying to front run the size that I see at 40. So let's go ahead and set up said order. I'm going to front run it. I'm going to put it at 55s, come what may. I can work into this. DJT looks like it's on one today. He's going on the Rogan podcast, and that could be an interesting catalyst for this. It just really depends if I can get filled on a pullback. Right now, it seems to be breaking away, wanting to break into the 70s. I put it at 55s to front run the size, and that wasn't even good enough right now. So DJT breaking out here, Satea.
Yeah, I was exactly looking at that DJT as well. I was trying to get it at 38.40, skipped over me. Tried to get it at 42, skipped over me. I was just like, damn, I don't know. Like, I still think I'm very convicted in it still. Definitely, I like the fact that it's trailing that 9 EMA. It's really looking strong as of right now. Wish I could have got that fill at 38.40, but I still don't think that this is slowing down. So that looks like a really good look as well.
Bro.
I mean, maybe the break of 39s. I mean, 38.75. I feel like you could just front run it, but like, I don't know. This bus is running. It is running, and so I'm not gonna chase that bus, but. Damn, I wish I could have got in there. Another something that I was looking at is I was looking at my unusual options activities. And so something that was interested, we'll get back to it. Adara has something for us.
I do have an earnings segment here. We're going to look at some names, day one earnings movers. And if you guys have any takers that you're looking at, earnings or otherwise, make sure you go in the chat and vote, !join, space, $, and your ticker of choice. WDC, almost at low of days here, trying to bounce, but still up a cool 8% on their earnings report. They beat here for both earnings per share. They beat for earnings per share $1.78 versus $1.73 expected, but their sales were a miss here, $4.09 billion versus $4.12 billion expected. Now, their revenue and EPS estimates were both a little bit mixed. The lower end of both actually fell short of analyst estimates. Let's talk here about L3 Harris. It's on watch not just with earnings, but also here with his partnership with Palantir. This was announced on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, we had Palantir CEO Alex Karp go on CNBC and speak positively about this new partnership, saying that they're better networked than PLTR, so a good look here for them. But how are the earnings? Pretty good here. They did actually beat here for earnings per share and sales, $3.34 per share here for earnings versus $3.26 expected, and sales of $5.3 billion versus $5.28 billion expected. Now, on the docket for Monday morning, we don't have anything tonight, but Monday morning we'll get onsemi and Phillips reporting. We will get a whole host of earnings next week, but it really starts getting interesting after the close on Tuesday, which is when we'll get AMD, Google, Snapchat, Chipotle, and Visa. I'll give you some more of these earnings updates in the week ahead video. You can find that on social media on Sunday, but lots of earnings on watch, guys. Make sure to vote again for your ticker of choice in that chat.
Sarah, you were saying. Go ahead.
Yes. So I was looking at WBC. So
Muted.
Oh.
Yep. There you go.
I was I was coughing before. So I was looking at WDC, and what I'm really liking is the fact that we're approaching near this day's low. So typically, I like the break of the day's low for the continuation of the short. Really like the fact that we got up at VWAP, rejected a little bit, had a little bit of chop and churn. You know, the bulls and the bears, they're fighting, broke that level, and then it's on the way down. But I don't want to see a bounce at this 71 level. I want to make sure that I see at least 2 5-minute candles closing below that 71 level. So that is what I'm really looking at. But I really like the fact that the 9 EMA, it's trailing down. It's just bouncing off that 9 EMA and then it's banging down. So really liking the look of that. And then that DJT, is it going? I mean, it got to that 38.94 level, rejected a little bit off of there, but I still think I have a feeling that we may get up there.
I have a
but
feeling.
yeah, I have a feeling. And so I mean, if you're trying to get in, maybe
Get some help.
Really, Fabian, eh? That's how it is. They're just gonna bully us vis-a-vis these animations, huh?
yes, he's in the
Yes.
back talking crap. But I would say like posting around that 39 level, waiting for that break. That looks really nice there for DJT. And then I was also looking at McDonald's, and McDonald's, I like this break of this day's low. So I think I'm gonna get in there. The negative catalyst is kind of something that I like as well for the confirmation of this short. So I think I'm gonna get in here. Let's see here, McDonald's. So yeah, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna post at 295, and hopefully
Nice.
that I get filled there. Don't really want to prematurely get in, but hopefully we can get that fill there. So I'm gonna give it about 10 pennies. Hopefully we get filled there. What is the spread? Okay, the spread's about a couple pennies, like around 8. So I think that is enough there for that fill. So that is what I'm looking at for McDonald's. And then the NEM, this is breaking through this 9 EMA. So this is something very interesting as well. A possible pullback level is probably this pre-market high. Not necessarily like a bearish trend, but I think that a little bit of a pullback, 48.31, and then we'll see what it does at that level. If we can bounce off that, I think that the continuation of the long isn't out of the picture, but if we break below that, possibly at VWAP is what I'm looking at. And then going to DJT. Okay, DJT is
baby.
getting at that 39
Oh,
level.
baby.
Can we break it? Can we break it? Let's go. Are you in that short?
Yes, man. I'm at 77.
Let's go. Yes, so that looks really good as well. Oh, it broke that 39. Let's go. We want to see that hold there, and let's see what we do from there. Let's look at the book. This is on the net queue. Let's see. Seeing a lot of buying action. Yeah, that tape, it's coming in just green, green, green. Look at
Greenery,
that
baby.
green. Yes, I love to see that. Looking really good, really strong on DJT. That looks amazing. That looks great. What about you, Shree?
And look, I tried to get in at 55, Satya. It didn't give it to me. I was looking at 40s. I had the dip trade set at 55s. I had to chase it. This is what got me in. Fabian, can I show the chart? This is what got me in, this hammer candle right here. It's set up like it was going red, and then somebody was buying up a storm at 60s or low 60s, 38, low 60s. As soon as I saw this candle form, I got in on this candle specifically based on the hammer candle right there, bottoming tail. You can call it hammer, call it whatever you want. What it's signifying is what got me into it, which was buyer exuberance, right? We already know that this one was already trending up. Now we're coming down a little bit here on DJT, and this should be an interesting look for a lot of people because you should be looking to re-up here, in my humble opinion. So I've got 77s. Right now we're at 97s. Where do I add? That's the question. It looks like we did another little bottoming tail right now at 90s. Let's see if we zig and zag and then maybe even come back into 40s. Again, this was the level I was looking at, and there was a specific reason I was looking at this 40-50 level. Once, twice, OB thrice. We worked our way into that, third $0.50 level initially. We were met with rejections, consolidated, did the little dip off VWAP at around 10:30, and then went on our merry way to break through 39. So Donald John Trump is in play, and I won't be convinced otherwise. 11 2/3 right now. He's going on the Rogan podcast today, and Kalshi's been pumping him up. Let me tell you, I follow Kalshi now on the gram, and they're posting about him every other second or so. So that is the look. Now, I'm also looking at the Zon. The reason being, now we were waxing poetic about how everything was breaking down below, or for Mag 7s, that is, not everything. The Mag 7 were on the way to VWAP or about to break below VWAP. Not all of them, some of them. Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon. I like the look of Amazon's jib a little bit better than I like Meta's and Microsoft. And the only reason is because it's doing the dance with no pants at the volume weighted average price, and it's putting a couple of indecision candles, doji candles, in other words, these little, You know, candles that don't signify either buying or selling. They're kind of neutral candles, candles of indecision, some people call them. And we're doing that right at the volume weighted average price on AMZN. So if it keeps doing this, I'll get it on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say, which is essentially proving to you that it's going to hold up at that level. By definition, you're not first because you're allowing it to manifest, to develop before you get in. So I like what I'm seeing right now for AMZN. Curls up a little bit more. I want to take this for another 190 test, maybe another 190.50 test. And I like what I see here, Satea. So far, so good. But it's zigging and zagging with the $0.50. Now that I look at it ex post facto, let's see if it's able to hold that $0.50. Yeah, it's getting away from things. Here we go. Now we're long on the Zon. Come what may, we're looking at wetting our beak. Possibly here. Where am I long? 56s. All right, let's go into the high 60s. See if we can set something up there for a quick beak wetter on AMZN. Flipping back to Donald John Trump. We're still zigging and zagging with 39, guys, despite the fact that we got that breach, the technical breach of the whole dollar level. We're not getting that closing push above to keep it above. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on that, Satea.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking at NVIDIA as of right now, still in DJ.
Muted, Satea. Muted. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's coughing, guys.
Yes.
That's why she's got a cough.
Sorry about that. Looking at that DJT, as Sharif was saying, it is not breaking, around that 39 level. It's kind of getting around that 39 level, and then it's bringing down. But what gives me conviction in this trade is this 9 EMA. I really like the fact that it's still trailing that. But if we break through that, maybe we might, jump out of that real quick and hopefully reassess. And then looking at my McDonald's bounced a little bit. I'm still convicted in that 295 level. It is trailing the 9 EMA as well. And so I didn't jump in too early. Want to make sure that it does break that 295 level for me to get in there. And then someone is saying Intel is pushing higher. Let's take a look at Intel. Let's go. Intel, yes, I really like that. We have a little bit of that double bottom here at VWAP at 1110 and then again at 1130. What I really like about this is the fact that it bounced at around 11, which is like a new trade setup. So let's look on the hourly. Let's look on that. So what I really like about that, bounce off of VWAP, really strong wick up. I definitely really like that as well. Near VWAP, really like that as well. I definitely think Intel is great on the long. I definitely think it's great. A bus stop level that I'm looking at is around 23.34. Let's see what other bus stop levels that we could possibly look at. 23.73 is my next bus stop level, but I think for something more close to for the day, I think 23.33, about 15 pennies from there, looking at that for the continuation of the long. If we can get up there, I would be adding at this position there, and hopefully we can get, the next leg up to the upside. But getting in, I wouldn't even be mad at you guys trying to get in, a big bulk of your position there, because it is holding above VWAP, didn't break above below VWAP, and so I really like the look of that. So shout out to that. What is DJT doing? Okay, DJT, it's coming down, 38.75. Still holding a little bit, but don't like the fact that it couldn't really break. My take profit for this was 39.40. It is breaking down a little bit. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit to this local high here for a possible, bounce and a break up. But if it does break below this level, 38.50, then I would be a little bit worried in the short term. And then looking at NVIDIA, really liking the look of this. I like that it's holding this trend here. Really like that. I think rather than getting in here, I think I want to wait for the break of 144.13. If we can get up there, I think that is a pretty good for the continuation of the long. How about you, Sharif?
I'm looking at Amazon. Well, I'm still involved on Amazon. I was able to wet my beak at the high 70s, but we'll talk about this trade in a hot second when we get back from Midday at the big desk.
Yeah, worth noting, apparently NVIDIA has just edged out Apple to be the #1 market cap company here in the world. NVIDIA market cap is, when this was reported just a few minutes ago now, at $3.5 trillion. Apple at 3.53 trillion for NVIDIA, 3.52 for Apple. So very close here, but according to LSEG data, NVIDIA, once again, the most valuable company in the world, guys.
All right, yes, this Amazon trade, thank you for that, Adara. Yes, as they go back and forth right now, NVIDIA, the monster of The king of them all right now, the $3 trillion+ market cap. We were talking last week about are there any non-American trillion-dollar companies that are publicly traded? I know Aramco is one of them, the Saudi oil company. TSM, though, seems to be one of those companies that is knocking on the door. It's at $204 right now per share, and it is an $884 billion market cap. So interesting look there. All right, Amazon is coming back into my entry, and we're going to get stopped there for the remaining amount on AMZN. Look, I think I could be persuaded to get back into this, but the future is dropping right now into that 20,600. So this is an interesting level here on the futures because 20,600 and VWAP are almost the same level. So if we dip into that level, I'm expecting a bounce on the future. If I'm expecting a bounce on the future, do I get back into Amazon at these levels? I don't need to be first. I need to keep my eye on it. It is breaking down now. So this will be an L for me, despite the fact that we wet our beak there. It's going to be an L. So we're going to look to do a little bit better right now on AMZN. I like the way that it was setting up at VWAP, but the market told me I don't care about what you like, and I'm going down a little bit more. So that is the situation on AMZN. Apple's also coming into VWAP, guys, at 231, possibly 75, give or take in that area. So I'm still waiting for either we dip into 20,600 and then bounce back up because we're still a little bit above it right now on the NQ December contract. That's what I'm referring to when I say 20,600. And the reason we look at that is because the Magnificent Seven, the Mag 7, make up such a large constituent parts of the indices, in this case, because it's in the ES and the NQ and even some others. So they often move in the same way or similar to the futures. And when the futures come into support and resistance, sometimes that has an effect on the Mag 7. That's why I look at them in tandem. And then so that we're going to look at that over here, try to weasel back into Amazon. There we go. Where are we long? 36s, all right. We're going to look to wet our beak possibly at that $0.50 if it does present us with that opportunity. So we're going to look to have some resting orders in the high 40s there to take into account for that. I'm still waiting for a 20,600 dip and pop. That is if it pops. By the way, the volume weighted average price a little bit below 600. It's about 20,595, give or take, on my chart. That could change, obviously, as the price zigs and zags. Tesla's coming into VWAP. So is Google. Microsoft is below it. Meta's below it. Tesla's approaching it. And NVIDIA is nowhere near it. It's not even below the 20 yet. So NVIDIA, even though it's not the biggest percentage winner on the day, or is it? It is. It is 2.18, better than all the other Mag 7s. And it's setting up better as well. So I'm keeping my eye on that as Amazon comes down. I kind of expected this because we're still not at 20,600 yet. So I'm going to look for a 20,600 bounce before I get out of Amazon.
For sure. So what I'm looking at as of right now is MSTR, and this is very interesting for me. The break of VWAP is really, really interesting to me as of right now. What I really like, too, is the fact that it broke below this pre-market high. And so I think I want to weasel my way into this short, but I want to see a little bit more confirmation here. Let's look on the 5-minute here. I think I'm going to post a little bit at VWAP. I want to get filled around 239.83, and then hopefully we can, for the continuation of the short, I think that looks really nice. So I'm going to put in my order here for MSTR. So MSTR, I'm going to put that in to 39.83. And then I'm going to give it like about a 7-penny cross. And then I'm going to put that in there, and then hopefully we get filled. Okay, did it get filled? No. Okay, and then going back to my McDonald's trade, because that seems like it's moving as of right now. McDonald's, yes, McDonald's, okay. So I got in at 239.90, and so I have my take profit here at 294.07, looking for, about $1 there, 90 cents. And so that is what I'm looking at, a little bit of a scalp. And I'll catch that trade. And then if it does bounce from that 294 level, I'll see what it does there and then hopefully get back in there. And then is my MSTR. Okay, my MSTR got filled. Interesting. So let's go back to that. Let's see what that is doing. Okay. So it was in the money. It's out the money. Let's see what we're doing here. Let me get rid of this 9 EMA. It's kind of getting in the way. Okay, so yeah, we are at that level. It is breaking above. Oh, I went long on MSTR. Oh, I guess it filled my. My stop loss. Okay, so we're just gonna punch out of that because I did not mean to do that. But hey, it's in the money, so, but we didn't mean to do that. But we're just gonna get out of that because that was not the plan, so we're not gonna ride that out too much. But going back to my McDonald's trade, what is that doing? We're at 294.90, so at the price that I got in at. And so, okay, about 5 cents in. And so that is what I'm looking at. And then what is DJT doing? DJT looks like it's curling a little bit up. Okay, I really like that. Really like the fact that I did not get scared. It bounced near this local high here around 38.58, and then it looks like it's continuing up. I'm going to throw back my 9 EMA, and it is on board. It is trailing that 9 EMA, so I really like that. My target, you know, I still want to see that break of that high, 39.13, 39.17. And so I think that is very reasonable to get up there. It tried to scare us. You're not going to scare us. We're staying in this trade. We are convicted. Let's go.
Yay.
And then, so what else am I looking at? I was looking at NVIDIA as well. Really like to trade NVIDIA. But as of right now, I'm more of a morning drive trader with NVIDIA. And so usually when I start getting in here, I don't know, I don't really like the look out of it, but I like to keep my eye on it. But we'll look at that. And then my love, the triple Qs. What are you doing here? Oh, I like this. This looks like a setup for my short, but I want to have some more confirmation here. Okay, I really like that 15-minute candle closing below. I'm going to throw out that order at 497.85 for the continuation of that short, and then looking to take profits around 496.60. How about you, Sharif?
I'm in trouble here with Amazon, man. It is going to break down. I've got my outs at 82s. I thought it was going to bounce off that level. It's not even close. So this is trouble. I've got about 10 pennies before I get stopped out on AMZN. Didn't hold up like I thought it would, so that's on me there. I'm also looking at Apple because that one actually held the volume weighted average price quite well. And for the moment, anyway, it's bouncing off that level. And we got a hold up, at least for the moment, on the NQ December contract. We're about 23 or 24 pennies higher than the 20,000, or points, not pennies, higher than 20,600, that 100-point level on AMs or on the Fuge. So here we go. Oh, wow, we're popping here on AMZN. So I thought we were going to be stopped out. We're 20 pennies higher than we were when I was complaining. So we'll let that one cook and see what it does. My stop is in play and no positions to add to or anything like that. So it's either going to print me at the profit taker or I'm going to get stopped out. Now I'm keeping my eye on Apple here because it definitely did hold at VWAP. And it was very strict in how it held too. So you kind of suspect whether or not there's some buy programs earmarking that particular level. The only thing that's really keeping me bearish a little bit, even though I'm long, is this. We're putting in sequentially lower highs and lower lows on the Fuge. And despite the fact that we're holding 20,600 and VWAP, we're not putting anything in the way of a trend-changing candle setup. What does that mean? We're not putting any higher highs or higher lows than the previous candles. So I'm a little concerned that the downtrend still on the futures could be more operative at this point than any 20,600 hold up. Adara, what do you got?
We're going to take a look here what's happened so far during this pretty exciting midday session. The S&P 500 right now holding on to 582 pretty nicely, still up 0.5 point or 0.5%, but definitely removed from its highs. The Qs look a little bit more bullish here, still up more than 1%. We know we've had a lot of strength here in TSLA, still pretty strong after day 2 earnings. We'll have also strength across chips, which we'll get to in a minute here. Meta very strong. So as Sharif has been mentioning, lots of Mag 7 strength propelling this market to the upside. Now we also have here on watch just lower treasury yields bringing up the market. We also had the highest consumer sentiment report here in 6 months. So 6-month high for Michigan consumer sentiment. What else are we looking at? NVDA topping and turning here, trying to hold support with slightly lower highs. as it actually has surpassed Apple to become the most valuable company in the world once again, $3.53 trillion market cap, heading that milestone. But we know these could switch back and forth as well. So NVDA currently top market cap company. What about McDonald's? MCD pretty sharply to the downside, trying to make new day's lows here, down about 2%, confirming that now they have about 75 cases of E. coli across 13 states. Initially, the report from the CDC said 49 cases in 10 states. So more E. coli cases being reported for MCD. If these or any other tickers are on your mind, get in the chat and vote. Exclamation point join, space, $, and whatever ticker you're looking at.
Thank you very much for that, Adair. We're going to keep an eye out on that. Shout out. Yes, I weaseled my way into DJT, looking for that 39 break and take small size over here, looking for that move above 39. We had good strength on this one a little bit earlier. We're basically at the same level over here. So we're going to put some beak wetters in the high 90s on DJT. I thought Neil was going to start. Yeah, so that's a look. You got some positions there. I like it.
Yes.
MCD triple Qs.
Yes. Yes. So
we got to go to Neil though.
Okay,
so.
Neil.
Yeah, you want to finish your thought though? Finish your thought.
Yeah. So I'm in McDonald's. Yeah. I'm in DJT. I'm in the QQQs. Got in a little bit early in the Qs because I liked the push down on those candles. We're heading up a little bit to VWAP on the QQQs, but let's see. I feel like I'm not wrong until 499, so I'm gonna hold it until that. Then we're going to Neil.
Got it.
Thank you very much there, Satea. Shout out to you. Shout out to the entire crew. Shout out to everybody that's having a fun day 2. Why do I say day 2? Well, I mean, obviously, the market's been around longer than 2 days. No, I mean day 2 because Tesla was ridiculous. But it wasn't the only thing that made crazy moves. So, you know, you have these random events. It can be earnings. It could be a short seller report. It could be a new product launch. Maybe it's like a Meta Connect event. Like there's so much out there that can happen that makes a stock do something different. It's going to do multiple 3-4x volume. It's also going to do through 3 times its average true range every now and then. And those are outlier types of days. They stand out in a chart so you know when they exist. And you want to be looking at those things the next day if you're an active trader. So I'm going to start with Tesla, but then the one that is a reason for the lesson I'll get to second, because that was a missed opportunity. Look, Tesla, okay, identify, is it an outlier day? Let's try to figure this one out. Is any of these days stand out here in Tesla? Okay, so there was back in June, and then the following day was a big volume spike, another big move, and we had aftermarket earnings, and ooh, yeah, that stands out a little bit there on Tesla, so we know we're in an outlier type of situation. There's the aftermarket move. There's yesterday, which went from 243 to 263 or 262. Okay, fine. It was only $19, not $20. Crimea River. But you know, because of the regular ebb and flow of the markets, there's always some unwind. Like people call it like the three-day rule for things to calm down. That works in both directions, right? Like calming down means if it's doing 3-4x volume, it's still going to do a lot more volume the next day. Now, is it going to do more 2 days after earnings? Probably not, but it's still going to be a lot of volume. It still should be at least a little bit more volatile than normal, which is a trading opportunity. Now, usually you're going to want to look for continuations, and I was started with that daily chart for a reason. Because the first thing I'm concerned about when it has that big of a move is like, is there any, like, what's left? Like, if we're looking for longs, what's left? And I think in this particular case, it's pretty clear. Like, there is a prior high on the daily, sitting above 250. I mean, the base is 250, and then you got this like 253. So yeah, you've got something in here, then you've got the high again at 65, and then you got this top here at 270. So you've got room to run to expect something to happen. So when you come in, where are we sitting? Obviously, everyone was looking at 250 for a big level on a Friday, but the first $5 higher, it manages to hold. So if you like longs, as long as it's over 250, and there's room to 270, well, that means there's easily longs above 55, 60. Like, those are all available because that's like $15, $10 to the upside, and you don't have to hold them back to 250, but they're close enough to your support that you like the idea. You can get out, find a way back in if you still like it. So it gave you the chance for something to happen. If we had closed at 269.50 50, like right up at that top, maybe you feel a little bit different about trying those longs in there, but it gave you that chance. So like, I'm not going to go over, oh, this is where we get in, whatever. If you got 55s and you made probably 10, 15 bucks. If you got 60s, you made 10 at best. If you got 65s, you made $5. All those were out there for you. But the key was that it had room to go. It was you knew it's an outlier day. It closed on strength. It opened above the prior high, so you had a window and a pocket to execute it. It didn't lose 250, which I wouldn't have liked. It held above and had room to 270. But there's another kind of play which I think sometimes can be a little bit better. So in the pre-market, you might have heard us randomly start talking about Viking Therapeutics, which shout out to Sharif was trading that one yesterday. So yeah, did you have an outlier day on VKTX? Sure you did. Absolutely. $12 move. You're talking 63 to 75. If you don't like 20%, then you don't like trading. On the daily chart, what do you got there on the daily for a continuation? This is where you really like it on an earnings play. Already existing, and this is the gold standard for an earnings play. Already existing trend back to the upside. Higher lows, kind of higher highs, but even a flat top, it doesn't matter. It's slightly trending up. Very clear level of resistance from bottom of trend to breakout on the big earnings day. Actually gives you the hold right around that prior high, that resistance spot, and then you're launching off of it. Like, what is that? That's 63 at the bottom. What's this resistance on the daily? That's $62.50. 62.5. There's your higher low channel. That wick is 62.5 bucks. Where are you at the open on Viking? You're right here bouncing off 63, prior support down here. That is a perfect continuation setup. Now, whether you're going dip buy into the prior low, whether you're going breakout high, figure out your execution strategy, which works best for you. You like breakouts? Let it wick out the bottom, set up the breakout trade. You like the dip buy? Well, then allow it to give the bamboozlement to everybody at the open, make those liquidity grabs, and then come back in. You got that available too. You like the continuation play? Let it make a bull flag. You've got right in here, pull back, break the prior high. You have so many things long, but the key is you're not even thinking about anything but find a long setup. It doesn't matter what your long setup is. With Tesla today, you were looking long, continuation. With Viking today, you were looking long, continuation. And there were so many opportunities out there for you. It could have been, I could be talking about Netflix after their earnings. The story would be, we never really know what's going to happen in the market the next day. Anybody that did would be retired, because if it was that easy to do, then you'd have infinite amounts of money and you'd be retired after a short, brief time of trading. But where you can start is the most simple concept. What happened yesterday? What's the strongest stock yesterday? Does it still look strong today? What's the weakest stock yesterday? Does it still look weak today? What was my best stock yesterday? Can it be my best stock today? Sometimes it's just that simple. And the day two continuation play, it does some of the work for you. You might not have to hunt as far for what is the name that I want to focus on at the open, or where my execution, most of them, going to be. A lot of times you can do a lot of that work just by knowing what worked the day before, and then you're just finding the setups. I only had one position for pretty much the majority of the open, and it was Tesla. But I knew that was going to be the case. I was only watching, I missed every other thing out there. I missed Google at the open, I missed Nvidia at the open, I missed Tesla down at the 255, I missed Tesla breaking out here at 57, but I was absolutely determined that I wouldn't miss the long altogether on Tesla. So I was able to finally get it at 60 because I was just staring it down, waiting for an opportunity, knowing I was going to go long. So the day two play is not a concept, it's not a hard concept to figure out in terms of what you should be looking at. And then all you have to do is see, does it still set up, give you opportunity higher like Tesla did, plenty of room to 270 on the daily, above support at 250. Does it give you some clean direction and a breakout price or a new price action above like Viking Therapeutics? Yes. General upward trend already before the earnings came out, breaking out the highs in the daily, holding right in front of those highs, giving you an obvious area of support that you can play off of. So both of these gave you the gold standard of day two types of plays. And going into earnings season, we have the big cap tech names coming through, all the big ones. after Tesla, after Netflix, we're going to get the really big ones. You want to have those in your pocket. Yeah, of course we're going to trade them the day after. But don't ignore it, that day 2 move. Because sometimes it can be just as good as the first. Even if it doesn't move as much, because you're focused on it, you might hit it a few more times, you might hit it with a few more shares, and you make just as much money because of that focus, even if it only moves half the amount. So there's your lesson of the day. Make that day 2 play. Hey, that rhymed.
We're gonna hit the banks for Neil because true to form, you know, he drops that Neilage during the midday, and
Always.
we're all better for it. So straight up, that's
Yes.
kind of how that works.
Hope you guys were listening
Yeah.
because that's gonna make you some money.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. All right, guys, let's review the trades that we had here before we have to go to Dara and Neil for his lesson of the day. So where am I long on Amazon? 189.07. Look, I gotta tell you the truth. This isn't my style of trading to dollar cost average rather than getting stopped out. But there was a level of note here at 189 that seemed to be holding, so I did add. Now we weaseled our way back up into the $0.50, about 40 pennies or so in the money, looking for that $0.50 break and take. What I don't like about the Amazon trade or chart right now is I'm seeing a bit of a topping tail, albeit small, on the 5-minute, and it's at a critical point. VWAP. Yeah, I mean, not all topping tail candles are created equally. Not all doji candles are created equally. You guys get it. I'm not going to go through all the different types of candles. But when they appear at certain areas, they may hold more weight than when they appear in different areas, or areas that are not of non-importance or non-import, whatever the word or the phrase is. Anyway, so I've wet my beak here at 50s. How much do I have left? I have a few outs left here on AMZN. I am concerned about this 50 penny-ish area acting as, resistance, but we're going to give this one the old college try. Donald John Trump. We're 40 pennies in the money on DJT over here, and I still have a few more outs. Let's see if we can weasel up, Satea. I'd like to weasel up there. No question about it. I don't think he would like... All right, we're going to take some more out here. There it is. Now we're knocking the door of 40. We're up 12.5% on Donald John Pump. Shout out to Dara for reminding me about that one. There we go. It's a symphony of... and I added over here, Ram Ram. You like that ad, Ram Ram? She likes that ad.
Let's go.
Everything is good. Ram Ram approved, baby. So we're looking to hold here on DJT. Now, look, there's some charting we can do on DJT. I mean, this is not a blue sky setup by any means. So it behooves us to start looking. Let's bring in the 4-hour chart. This is the mother of all rounded bottoms. Holy, like, look at the bleeding all of July, all of August. I guess he was down in the polls during then. Then boom, you can kind of almost see where he kind of maybe, I don't know, stopped going down in the polls. It was looks to be like that September 23rd, maybe, I don't know. And then it's been a symphony of higher highs and higher lows since then. So where are we at? 30, let's just say 40 bucks, all right? So where do we have resistance over here that's near 40 bucks? Well, I'm going to submit to you that June 28th double top. Let's zoom in a little bit on that June 28th double top. This over here, this candle, June 28th. Yeah, these are both June 28th candles. That takes us up to 43. Not much in the way of resistance aside from 40 until this level over here. Well, because we're much higher up here. So it's interesting here on DJT. I think, maybe not today, but we probably squeeze somewhere in and around there. So I'll pack my patience and see, how long we can hold this bad boy on for. But right now, what's the situation? Let's zoom back in to the 5-minute. Yeah, we're at highs, man. We are literally at highs. So I'm going to set up another order there for 45s because 44 is an unlucky number. Oops, that's not the one. Here we go. Let's set it up at 45s. Let's put that there. Back to Amazon. Yeah, we're still in the 40s. I think we're having trouble here with VWAP and with that 50 penny level. I'm going to give it a little bit of room now that I've got a bit of a buffer from where I got in and the current price action, but I'm not overly optimistic, Satea, about this VWAP break.
Yes, so I jumped out of that DJT at 20 cents above my entry level. So I got in at 39, got out at 39.20. So was on that bus with you, but you obviously have some more diamond hands than I do. But then again, I'm a quick scalper, so I really like that. And I do think that there is still a continuation for this DJT. Definitely looking at that 40 level or maybe around 39.90 if we don't get to that 40. So really looking at that, really look really good on that. And then I was going to my McDonald's, close that out for a nice profit as well. So, you know, I messed up a little bit because there was an order that I did have sitting that I had forgotten to cancel. Got out of it really quickly though. Still up on the day, so really like that. But I got in around 294.95, and then I got out around 294.49. I got out around 294.30. So really like that. My profit taking level was 294.07s, but you know, I just wanted to scalp that out. So really good look there. And then looking at the QQQs, I am still convicted in the short. I do like this downtrend here that we do have. My stop loss is around 49.05. So I think that if we can get up there, then I don't really like that. But I think that, you know, it is struggling a little bit to get there. But one thing I am a little bit wary about is it bounced below VWAP, and then we have a little bit of a trend up. But we still are kind of on a downtrend on the higher time frame. But, you know, if we look on, like, this is kind of where I'm at odds. We have, like, this uptrend here, but then we have this cross here. And so I just want to make sure that we're not getting above 4.99, because then I'm going to hop out. I am wrong. But that is what I'm looking at for that. And then McDonald's still looks like it's going to come down. It's coming down. And so really looks good there. I might hop back in, but I want to see a little bit more of a retracement up, maybe around 295 before I get in for the continuation of the short. Because anything could happen at these levels, but I do think because of that negative catalyst with everyone getting sick with that E. coli, then I don't think that McDonald's is bouncing anytime soon, especially not today. And it's also Friday, so I don't think that the likelihood of that is very likely. But, you know, that is what I'm looking at in terms of that. QQQs, it's getting up there, approaching my my stop loss level. So hopefully, you know, it doesn't get there, but if it gets there, we are looking for the next trade. And so I am really interested in what you guys are looking at. Someone's saying Tesla. Let's weasel back onto that. Let's see what we're doing to Tesla. So Tesla here, 268.55. We rejected off of that. We are breaking the 9 EMA a little bit here. Let's maybe look on the higher time frame, because the 1 minute is a little bit bamboozling. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. That was from earlier. So on the 15-minute time frame, though, the trend is pretty strong still. I don't see any, you know, break of the 9 EMA yet. It's still above VWAP. Definitely liking the look of that. So if I were to get in, I would be getting in on the breakthrough of that 268.50. I like it because it's around a psychological level to the 50s, and then looking here again at that day's high break, 269.30, looking for that continuation of the long. How about you, Sharif?
I just want to let everybody know, guys, dashboard is down. The Chilean Nightmare and Ram and Mark, and I'm sure everybody else is working on it full time. Hopefully we'll have that up for you guys on Monday. It's been down for a couple of days. We're doing we're doing the absolute most to get it on. Yeah, I just want to extend, obviously, Trader TV's apologies for that on behalf of them. We will definitely have that for you guys as soon as we can. I know that everybody wants to see the Neil's positions, Sean's positions, and everything like that, and more sympathetic I could not be. So I just want to kind of make that announcement, guys, that we'll have that up as soon as we are literally able to. So here we go. Now I want to talk about this trade, Ram, because we're waiting at 88s here on the Zon. Come on, baby. We're long go 5s. I'm waiting at 88s. Give me my print, please. Lucky number 88. Shout out to all my Asians. I know you guys like 88. I know you guys don't like 4. I'm with you guys on that. Well, let's go, baby. We're sprinted 87s now. Here comes 88s. 88s. Where you at, 88? Come on, CD. Let's go, baby. Come on. There's a seller at 87. Obviously, you can see that. Shouldn't be stopping like that with the kind of size that it's showing at 87s. right now. So here we go with 87s. I'm gonna take it out here. There we go. We'll take off that 88 order and we'll just take it out at 87s. Now we're gonna watch this bad boy continue to ascend, I guess. 90s printing now. A little bit of sell coming in at 90. Good hold up with Amazon at this level. I'm very happy with this, how it ended. And I have a bit of bigger position here, as you can tell. Looking here for now, Donald John Trump. Donald John Trump is finding resistance at this 40 penny level. I'm waiting at 45s. And this one just took a bit of a drop. I was using a different adjective there. Thank God I didn't. But yeah, it dipped in from around 40s right into 20s. So this one awfully volatile right now, trying to hold up at 30s. Is still putting in the higher highs and higher lows. Let's call a spade a spade. It hasn't given up the ghost yet, but there's going to be a time where this bad boy retraces, and we need to be cognizant and ready for that when it does manifest. So keeping an eye here on Donald John Pump and on AMZN. And there we go. We're still waiting here for that 190 break and take. I'm going to put my order at the dollar winner. So we're going to put it at 190.05 because we're long 189.05. We'll just leave it there. We get it. We don't. Now let's look at some of the Mag 7s that are moving over here. So Apple, this is a mistrade, and I called it, and I didn't take it. This is on me. This was a fantastic 2-candle hold up at the volume weighted average price by the dead one Apple. And what did it do? It came into 231, let's say 75, maybe low 80s, give or take, in that area at the time. I think VWAP was around 73, 72. And look at that. We're about almost $1, not $1, close to $1. We just printed 60s. 232 60s, while that level at VWAP was 231 and change. So that was, no question about it, a missed trade and one that was not hard to spot. So yeah, we'll look to do a little bit better. AAPL back looking to maybe possibly take 233. We'll keep an eye on that. The Zuck train also recovered. A nice breach of VWAP, but look where it held up. Interesting level. That 575.50 was a bit of a pre-market, let's say, top before the bell rang there. So we kind of rejected off that level in the pre. What time was that? 9:15, and then 11:55 we dipped in and held it. Not a level that I charted, so not disappointed in myself for not having executed on that. That's not really my jam, to kind of take these pre-market levels as an area to have a dip trade on. So not too disappointed with that. Now Nvidia is kind of looking a little different. So this one was the monster. It was the best performer on the day. Some of the other Mag 7s were headed down while Nvidia was headed up. You had Meta, Amazon, Microsoft all selling off while Nvidia was making highs at 144 and change. Now look at this. Now we're getting some lower highs and lower lows here on the monster Nvidia. Is this a 143 dip trade in and around VWAP? I mean, you got a 2-candle close below the 20. And Satya just dropped a hot lesson there talking about a 2-candle close below the 10. And look at this. You got a 2-candle close below the 20, and then quick as you like, we're trying to work our way back up into that range, that 143.75. I think there's a lot of resistance at 143.75. You had an initial rejection at that level, and then you whiffled and waffled with it over here once we gave up the ghost at 144. So it may not be 144, the level that we were looking at. Maybe it's at 143.75. Hard to know until we get right back up there, but ex post facto analysis of the chart kind of feels like there is. So I'm going to keep tabs on that. Let's see what Donald John Pump is doing. Is he breaking down? No, he's still above the 10, and he's still above 39. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. 3-candle pattern right now, though, guys, on DJT. Negative pattern, but still above the 10 exponential and still above $39 today.
Awesome. So I'm going to hop out of this this triple Q's trade just because I don't really like that. It is breaking above this trend line that I kind of drew. And so don't really like that. And it is trailing the 9 EMA. It's looking strong. It's above VWAP. So I really liked it when it was below VWAP, but because we are still respecting this kind of trend line, I don't like it. Popped out of that. But what I am happy about, though, is, what was that trade? It was Tesla. So Tesla, I did a little bit of a scalp on that one. So got in around, what was it? It was, I got in around 267.50, and then I got out around 267.74. So really like that, really nice scalp there. And then Tesla going short. Oh, I guess I forgot to cancel that order. I'm just gonna hop out of that trade real quick. Oh.
DJT's breaking down.
Oh, yeah,
There it is,
DJT.
90s. Yep.
Yeah, so looking at that, DJT. Oh, were you still in that trade?
I am. I'm out of here.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Let's take a look
I
at it.
didn't get filled. Of course I did.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean, I see it could possibly get to like around 38.50 possibly, but it looks like it's going down. But I don't think that this is the end of this train here. So really nice look there on DJT, and then looking at McDonald's, kind of glad that I got out of that. It did get to 293.63 and bouncing a little bit up, but I still think the trend is respecting itself, and it's going to the downside, respecting that 9 EMA, hugging it, not really going above it, just hits above that 9 EMA and just keeps going down. What is my bus stop level? My bus stop level is 291. Why? This was, what was it, Wednesday's low? I think this was in the pre-market, or is this in intraday? Okay, yeah, this was from the morning drive. So 290.87, around there is my bus stop level for McDonald's. I don't think that the bidders are really going to bid this up today just because there's so much negative catalyst, and we're going to Adara.
Keep an eye on Boeing here. We got our largest volume candle today in the 15-minute chart by far. Wall Street Journal reporting that they're exploring the sale of their space business, and their new CEO, Kelly Ortberg, is apparently seeking buyers here for the Starliner and some other NASA projects, basically to help I guess their manufacturer, which we know is Spirit Aerosystems. So more Boeing news here from the Wall Street Journal, giving it a nice volume pop for BA.
Thank you very much for that. It's Adara, you want to continue?
Oh, yeah. So what else do we got here? I was looking, what else are we yeah, the QQQ's looking like it's breaking here, looking like the continuation of the long is in session, really like that. Profit target that I'm looking at is around that $500 level. We are breaking through that $499, so really like the look of that for the long. Had a little bit of a bad read here when it did break VWAP. I should have been mindful of, you know, the whole trend going up, you know, all day, and it only broke VWAP briefly, so I got a little ahead of myself there, but really nice QQQs for the long. What else do we got here? Let's take a look at Tesla, because what is Tesla doing? Okay, Tesla is still bouncing to the upside, still like the hold of that 9 EMA, still holding that trend. So I still think that this is a good look on Tesla as well. So what else do we got here? Let's take a look at Google. Let's just flip through some tickers. Ooh, I like this. This is getting near this day's high here. I want to see a break of that 165.50. That looks really good as well. Like the fact that it bounced off VWAP at 1048 and then again around at 1150, and then we're trekking up, trailing that 9 EMA. Really like the look of that. With the RSI as well, this is curling up as well, around 55 on the RSI, liking the look of that. What's the volume delta doing? Let's see here.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so yeah, this looks like it's pushing up as well. Not too many candles here on the bearish side, and so really liking the look of that. And then where's my volume? Because that's crazy that I don't have that there. Okay, let's just look at the RVol, because it's descending a little bit here, but I do still like the look of Google. That is looking really good there. How about you, Sharif?
Man, I couldn't be more happy with this trade on DJT. Satea, I don't usually add into positions, and it's been my Achilles heel for a hot minute. And the fact that I was able to add into this one and it went my way, that usually doesn't happen. Like, I'll just tell you straight up. Usually when I add, I'm giving back money.
Yeah.
And then elation turns to frustration.
Very fair.
And, you know, slippers need to be thrown. And, I'm just kidding, of course. And there was a little running gag that I used to trade back when I was at home during COVID. All the slippers would be thrown, like the frustrations of, like, new trading. Anyway, I won't bore you with that. But this was a dip. This was a 10 exponential moving average dip on the 5. And I added at this point, wet my beak, wet my beak. We've got another little profit taker hanging out at 25s. We'll see what comes of that. What's my average now? 94s, excuse me, on DJT. Anything below 80s, I'm gone on this one. It's going to have to hold up at the level. By the way, it put in a hammer candle on the 5. Fantastic look. However, you still have lower highs on each successive candle. That is until we can make a high on the 5-minute above 39.33. If we can't get above 39.33 on this current candle, it will be a lower high. I'm waiting at 25s to wet my beak. We're zigging and zagging right now in the low 20s, 21s, 22s showing up here. Let's see if we're able to take out that seller in the low 20s and get filled at a $0.25. Now, I'm also on AMZN. I've been waiting for that dollar banger, but look what's happening here at 90 pennies. It's preventing me from hitting that dollar animation because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you want to count this candle, didn't quite make it up to 90. That's 6 1-minute candle rejections at 190. I'm only sitting at 190.05. I'm not asking for too much here. So we'll pack our patience, see if we can work our way above that 190 level, or is that going to be the top right now on AMZN up 1.89. Let's put some respect on this one's name. Back to DJT, still not giving me my fill at the $0.25 and still putting in lower highs on the current 5-minute candle. We'll see how long that one holds up for. So I'm kind of happy with the trading today. I'm not too upset about it. There were some mistakes made. Thank you, Adara. Appreciate you always boosting. But we're going to look to do a little bit better over here if we can set up with some other ones. Hey, Fabian, which is your favorite GTA? Is that like asking what your favorite superhero is in a comic store, like comic book store? Like that's going to cause a fight. San Andreas. Okay, so that is the one after Vice City, correct? Correct. Okay. First one he played was Vice City. That's my favorite one, Fabian.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you know about that one?
Yes, of course. Which one's the one with Nico Bellic?
I don't know.
Yes, Liberty City. That one. That was a good one.
Is that supposed to be New York? Liberty City? Is that New York?
I don't remember where it was, honestly. But
I just remember that the Vice City was like literally the map of Miami.
we need one in Toronto.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're not important. I guess.
Really?
I guess.
If
I
it's
feel
the name
important.
GTA Greater Toronto Area, come on, let's
Drop
go.
the money on that.
Yes.
I'm good with that.
Rockstar, let's go. Come on. We're waiting. But
And they're already stealing cars here left and right today. We know nothing is safe in this place.
No, seriously.
No, guys, we really have an auto theft issue in this city. You know about some of the craziness that happens. Like people put air tags in their cars today and they know what container it's in the Port of Montreal. Cops can't get a warrant to get the car out. So apparently they're changing that now so that like as soon as I tell you, hey, my car is here, you can act a little bit quicker. Because people were like putting tracking devices in their car, spending a whole bunch of money on it. And then the cops are like, oh, we're powerless.
Yeah, we don't know what to do. It's
What do we do? What do
why
we
did I
do?
spend all this money on that? Like, what the heck?
I love how the chat chiming in.
Did you hear about when the cops were saying, oh, you should leave your keys at the door so that they don't break into your house?
Guys, what happened in the city was we started getting home invasions to take the cars. People started putting bollards in their cars. People were putting immobilizers, so the criminals had to get creative. What better way than just to barge in your house and to take the keys? So that the cops were like, yo, don't fight these people. Just put the keys at the front door. I'm like thinking, in the States, what would the police be say? Like in a city like Florida, where you, or like a state like Florida or California, where you have your stand your ground laws.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to, but yeah. Okay, sorry. We got to go to the green screen, Adara.
Green screen, Adara.
IWM went from holding support beautifully at that previous resistance level at 220.50 to now rejecting that area at 220.50. Let's see what happens here. We could not crack 222. Those are those two candles where we start to reject here on the Russell 2000 there. So 222, still an interesting level for the IWM, as right now it's trying to hold on to 220s. We have a lot of small caps here and watch. ITRM, Ethereum Therapeutics got moving midday, actually in a news pending halt. Now it's opened back up almost 80% here. It gets here an approval from the FDA for its treatment for UTIs. So UTI treatment, getting FDA approval here for ITRM. Now we have Nextland Technology. This one was rallying earlier this week, announced that it's launching this trial for one of its medical headsets, which is what it specializes in. Now there's a report apparently that this company is going to be interviewed on this big small stocks, big money show for Bloomberg TV. So Bloomberg TV airing an interview with NXL guys. And last but not least, we have MRNS. This one had days highs, but it wasn't always this way. Initially gapping down and trading lower after the company announced that its phase 3 trial for its oral seizure drug didn't go over quite well, did not meet its endpoint, actually getting some downgrades from analysts, but now recovering nicely. This one is a penny stock trading just above 30 cents. MRNS, nice recovery. These are any other stocks you're looking at. Make sure to go in the chat and vote. Exclamation point join, space, $sign in your ticker, because Neil and Sean will be looking at the top 5 tickers voted there, guys. Neil's dancing right now.
Very much for that, Adair. I just got to read what Adam DeLuce wrote. ADL, baby, in the chat. Favorite GTA 6. We don't even have GTA 6 yet, bro. Isn't that like the running gag online? Oh my God, we got this before GTA 6 or whatever, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, they're still working on it. It's taken a long time. We are waiting. What do you have like a gaming system, like a PlayStation?
I'm 100, so I don't have that.
So how did you play these games then? Like PS2 back then?
PS2.
Oh, wow.
That was my last gaming system, the PS2. I'm not actually lying. Good call on that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and I had GTA. I had SOCOM. Who remembers SOCOM? Like that first-person shooter game. I had that. What else did I have? I had Roy Jones Boxing or Boxing whatever. I don't remember. 2000 and whatever. I'm not going to say what year.
You lost me.
Guys, I got... Yeah, is that how it is, eh, Ram? You saw that, Katina, man. All right, guys, let's have a look. We're almost $1 in the money here on AMZN. Finally, can you please break 190? We've been waiting. I've been waiting. We're long 189.05. This is the umpteenth time we've got into 190, Katina, man, and we're not able to break it. So I'm going to need you to punch in a few thousand shares there, Katina, man. Donnie said, bang. All right, we're going to hopefully break this 190 soon. We've been waiting at 190.05 for a hot minute. We're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer. Donald John Trump, we did really good on this one, but I put my stop right below, a little bit below my entry, and now we're done. Umpteen amount of outs here through the top, but we get stopped out for the remaining amount on the addition. And now Donald John Trump is coming down a little bit here. It's at the 20. Let's talk about this one because it behooves us to chart this. It's been very strong. Now, this is the first 10 exponential break, 10 exponential moving average break on the 5-minute chart since 10:35. Now, what we did, look what we did at 10:35. We wicked off the 20 exponential. We are literally at the basically the exact level of the 20 exponential right now. Let me just update this because I feel like it's not updating. No, it's updating. I'm wrong. Sorry. So I'm going to wait here. If it wants to hold up at the 20, fantastic. I'll get it on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say. I don't need to be first, but there's a whole bunch of strength today in DJT. It was up like 12% or whatever at the highs there, but pulling back here below 39. So we're going to have to pack our patience on that one. There is the look on DJT. Let's go back to Amazon. 190.02. Fill me at 190.09. I'm not moving my order down. I just won't. So I'm going to leave that one to cook. If it wants to fill at 05s, so be it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. We're going to pack our patience. Satya, what are you doing over there?
I was actually just going to look at Amazon. That's crazy because someone shouted it out in the chat. Really like the look of that. I like the bounce off of VWAP, like the bounce off of the 9 EMA. We're approaching near these highs, around 190.18, and then again around 190.40. Really strong look there. I like the fact also that it's breaking above this Wednesday's high around the pre-market, or this day's high, intraday high. Around, okay, this was 189.15, and then we're approaching, okay, this pre-market high from Wednesday around 189.93. That gives me extra confluence for this trade. This looks really, really good here. Where is my bus stop level? You know I love my bus stop levels. We are looking at 191.50. Why is that? Because this was Tuesday's high, as well as it's a psychological level. Really liking the look of that. And yeah, really nice confluence there with, I think I'm going to throw in my order. How about you, Sharif?
I'm looking still at Amazon over here, but I wanted to I want to mention, guys, we got a new small cap gapper du jour, Halted, exactly $1 on the dot. Let me bring in the side chart. It goes by the ticker NWTN. Here it is, NWTN. I'm gonna load that up. What is this, Newton? NWTN Inc., Neil. It's a creative name for what it does, the Katina Man said. Okay, let's hear what it says, Katina Man. Green technology company. Company is engaged in passenger-centric mobility. Okay, it's open, guys. Here it is. Now trading at 110. NWTN, small cap gapper. Here's the details. $317 million market cap. The volume is light for a dollar name. It's at 1.75 million shares. The float, large. 246 million share float. And let's find out the short float, if any. NWTN, shout out to the NOS boss and his analysis today on gold and crypto. 0.08%, no real short float to speak of, guys. Here we're going to halt at 125 again. So we halted at 1. Now we're going to halt at 125. Is this halted quite yet? Let me have a look. Yes, we are halted at $1.25. Big boy moves here for NWTN. It just earned its way onto the side chart, no question about it. And we're gonna keep an eye out on this bad boy. Let's see, guys, if there's a trade to be had at $1. I always yap about the trade being different south of $1 and north of $1. I think we've gotten far away from $1 here, enough to be able to use it as support. We're 25% away from the breakout level at the dollar. So we're gonna load this bad boy up on the trading screen right here so we can have notice of when it opens up. We can't take off Donald John Pump, but we're going to take off Tesla for the moment right now. NWTN. By the way, guys, this bad boy trades on the NASDAQ in case you wanted to know. NWTN. There it is, halted at $1.25, but we're going to pack our patience, wait for that. Now, what's Amazon doing? Back to 190 is Amazon. I've been waiting. It looks like I will continue to wait for that dollar winner at 190.05. We've got a seller of note here still in and around the 190, keeping this bad boy a little bit lower. And I want to yap about something else here on Amazon. So we're talking about how this has been stronger, this and that. It's up 2% on the day. Have a look, guys. We're putting in lower highs and lower lows, right? If you want to use this area crest as a high, 190.45, that's crest number 1. Then over here, we're at 190.20. That's crest number 2. Now we're at 190. So incrementally lower highs. Same holds true for the lows. Look at this. This candle over here at 10:45 goes to 189.08. How about this bad boy over here? This one goes to 188.88. So we're getting those incrementally lower lows and lower highs. It's a downward channel. It's not by much. Still up on the day. But just wanted to point that out, that the selling seems to be a bit stronger every successive attempt at those local highs, Satea. So something to keep an eye out if you're trading Amazon.
No, for sure. So Tesla is booming. Tesla is booming. So yes, I had to get that scalp in. Got in at 268. I was just expecting like a couple of pennies, like 20, 30 pennies. I got out at 64. Was it 64? Let's see here. I want to get it the 268. 61. Yeah. So got in at 268.14, got out 268.61. I was not expecting that. Got that nice scalp. I still think that the continuation of the long is in session. I definitely still think that as well. Still looking for that day's high, looking for the continuation there. But just in my strategy, I just like to take a scalp, so I just want to make sure that I'm staying true to that. But I don't think this bus is slowing down. Tesla, you are going up, you are flying, so really like that. And then going to Amazon, because I just got filled. Let's see here, got in around 190.02s. And so we're coming down a little bit, but I'm still convicted in this trade. Yep.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Because there's CrowdStrike news.
Yes.
Neil threw this in the chat, guys. Big news here at a CrowdStrike Ram, if I can. Because the chart is showing some good price action over here. Sorry again to interrupt.
Yeah, do your thing.
But it was, we were trading at 310. Now we're breaking 300, guys. CrowdStrike dropping 1.5%. Neil put it in the chat. They had struck a deal initially Karasoft struck a deal to sell software IRS that the IRS, didn't buy. This is being reported by Bloomberg. So there you go. The market not liking what they're hearing from that, and then we're dipping into 300 here, guys. So about a $10 drop, quick as you like, on CrowdStrike, guys. Just want to update you on that. Sorry to interrupt you. Sit down.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so looking at that Amazon still, like the fact that it's trailing that 9 EMA, I'm going to look on here for a higher time frame. I think that there may be a little bit of a bounce here around the EMA, around 189.67, 189.70, but I still, as long as we can hold above that, I am still very convicted in this trade. And then someone saying Eldrin Giller, TSM ripping, broke the 205. Let's see TSM. Let's look at that. Oh, yes. Shout out to you, Eldrin. I really like this, the look of this. Why? The break of this pre-market, this day's high. Why do I keep saying pre-market? The day's high, really like that. Might see a little bit of a pullback around 204.50, but still very convicted. I would not, be surprised if I want to get in here. That looks really, really good. Bus stop level that I'm looking at, gonna look on a higher time frame. So the local bus stop level was from Friday, October 18th, around 206.27. Definitely think we can reasonably get there. And then the next bus stop level that I'm looking at is around 210.57. Are we going to get that today? I mean, I feel like that depends on the ATR. I feel like that is a little bit overextended, another $5 move. I mean, let's see. Let's take a look at how much TSM moves on the day, just so we can see here. Okay, it moves around $6.25. So I think my first bus stop level is pretty reasonable, 206.34, see what it does from there. And then if we can break above that 206.34, then I'm looking at that around that 212 level. Yeah, 212.50. Yeah, around then. But I think 210 is more reasonable, 206, and then 210 looking for that. And then what else are we looking at? Gosh, BA keeps printing. Let's look at BA.
What is going on?
BA, let's go.
Yeah, Elon was mentioning that.
He mentioned it?
Yeah, oh yeah, Elon was mentioning. CrowdStrike is still dipping, guys. We just dropped $4 off that 300. CrowdStrike is bleeding 2.5%. But yeah, Boeing looks fantastic as well.
This looks really good as well. Everyone's just throwing in the chat my setups. I love you guys. You guys are great. So what I really like here is this break of this day's high around 157.20, and we're going to a
no, we got to pay bills.
Oh, we're paying bills.
We got bills to pay.
Yes.
All right, guys. Big news from Trader TV and Trade the Pool. Trade the Pool is giving away 7 limited edition $20,000 buying power evaluation accounts to help traders just like you take the next step in your trading journey. At Trade the Pool, you first complete an evaluation by hitting profit targets. Once you pass, you get access to up to $260,000 in buying power. And write this down, because today is the last day. The giveaway dates started October 21st, and today is the last day, October 25th. The winner will be announced on October 29th. So make sure to enroll today. This is your chance to start trading with a funded account, so don't miss out. The link is in the description or on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Scan that QR code. Everyone can get funded, so let's stock and roll, baby.
Let's go.
That stock and roll is great, eh?
Yes, I love that little pun there. So I'm looking at that Boeing, and I don't like to, get in, directly at these highs, but if I could see a break of this 157.50, which is at that day's high, and also a psychological level, I think I will get in there. So looking at that, gonna post that there. And then looking at the QQQs, I thought that there would have been more of a bounce here, but it's going back to VWAP. Gonna get rid of that trend line. Yeah, it's going back to VWAP a little bit. And so let's see what it does there. If we can get some more volume to continue to the upside, or is it going to be a short like I originally thought it was? So yeah, let's just see. Let's see what it does there. Let's throw out an alert actually, just so that I'm aware of it. What was that? QQQ is going to put an alert here around 498.43. So that is what I'm going to do. And then once that triggers, I'm going to see what we do from there. And then So let's see what people are saying in the chat. What are you guys looking at?
Did you
NVIDIA,
see
when
Alub?
VWAP? Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, yeah, it is approaching that VWAP level. I do want to see some more action going on there, but I definitely think if you are, going for, if you are in a short, then possibly taking profits around that VWAP. But if you're looking for the long possible bounce off of that VWAP would be very interesting to me. I think that, a little bit of a pullback, I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a little bit of a break below VWAP. Wouldn't necessarily think that it's a reversal just yet, but 142.70 is probably a possible bounce that I'm looking at just because it's around the morning high, and so possibly maybe I want to see a bounce there and a continuation up. But if it does break below there and I see at least 2 5-minute candles closing below 142.78, then I may be interested in the long just because it is breaking that VWAP, and typically that's when I like to initiate my shorts. And then it's also breaking through this morning high. So definitely very interesting. And then someone saying NWTN halted.
Yeah, again, Satea, 155. I've been staring at this one.
Oh, wow.
$1, 125, 155. It's a rocket ship.
Are you getting in?
I'm gonna think about getting in here now that I've got eyes on it. To be honest with you, here it is, guys. NWTN. Gonna give you the tap in a hot second if I can here before it opens. So NWTN. What time did it halt? It halted at 12:47. All right. So right now I'm seeing the tap is at 156. So 1 penny above where we closed. I'm gonna give you the tap. Oh, here it is. Zigging and zagging right now. 141 looks like it's going to halt down at 140. If it does this for 10 seconds, the halt parameter kicks in. However, it can false halt. We've seen that multiple times. Let's see. It's got to do this for 10 straight seconds, and there it is. We're halted to the downside now. 141, guys. So another halt. This time a down halt, and the theoretical auction price right now. 138 or now 148. Okay, so this is going to zig and zag, right? The theoretical auction price for those who have not traded these small cap gappers that, halt multiple times, kind of like the opening bell auction where you have orders and you try to pair those orders with sell orders and vice versa. So that's what's happening right here. It's taking the buy orders, it's taking the sell orders that are coming using the market on open order. That's how you post when it is halted. At least that's how you do it on our system. I know other systems you can just put regular orders, but MOO is market on open orders. So it takes all those orders, pairs them together, and it gives you a theoretical auction price. If there are more sell orders that are coming in, your tap will be lower. If there are more buy orders that are coming in, your tap will be higher than what you ask, the halt price. So you're always comparing the theoretical auction price to the current halt price. We know it's halted at 141. You can see that quite clearly right there. So hope that, clears that up for everybody who's trading these small cap gappers. Guys, we have a whole bunch of rejections right now on Amazon at this level. So there is a real seller of note at 190 over here. Have a look at this. We've been rejecting off 190 on Amazon for the better part now of almost 45 minutes. It really started with this candle over here at 1220, and it's done that each successive time. It was able to weasel up into the low 190, like 190.04. I've been waiting at 190.05, sucks to be me. But the point is, there's a seller of absolute note at this level, and now it's coming down a little bit over here. But I still like my chances, so I'm going to pack my patience with this one. You were quite astute in pointing out that NVIDIA was working its way down into VWAP, so definitely going to be interested in that one if it does work its way down to VWAP, because I think there's a trade to be had here. The dead one, Apple, is trying to break 233 again. It's been a nice recovery, albeit very slow, off that double bottom that it put at the volume-weighted average price at around 231.75, and now we're knocking the door of 233. So AAPL continues to ascend, albeit very, very, very slowly. So that's the look there. Still halted on NWTN. Uh-oh, what's Donald John Pump doing? Or is it now Donald John Dump? No, it's back up. Okay, so looks like it found its footing over here. Where did it find its footing? At around 38 bucks, a little bit higher than 38 bucks. Looks like it's 38.10, and now it is really on the way up here, trying to take out $0.75. So DJT back to the, I don't know, long side. Oh, hold on a sec. Let me just show you. Let me show them this, and we'll go to Darren in 1 second. Just calm down there, Ram, with these euphemisms. All right, 38.20, guys. That was an interesting area crest, excuse me, on our way up. So it looks like it did defend that area. We'll talk more about that when we get back from the big desk with Adara.
Keep an eye here on CRWD, this one, in case you missed the news there. Basically making this deal with Carasoft to sell some software that the IRS didn't buy. So Carasoft selling this software to CrowdStrike, leftover that I guess it was supposed to be selling here to the IRS. But CRWD down here from that 310 level. The 310 level is worth noting because that is not only the level from that we closed at on July 19th, which is when we had that outage issue, but it's also this was also the level from which we fell that same day on the next move down when Elon Musk tweeted that he had no longer be working with CrowdStrike. So 310, a really key level from for CRWD. We now have, of course, that software selling news, sending this one to the downside, guys.
Elon, he's a character, eh? Are you a fan of Elon? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I kind of am. You're muted. Yep.
Yes. I mean, I just don't like him just because his dabble in crypto. But I mean, he's a cool guy.
What did he do? Because of the Doge thing?
The Dogecoin, yeah, his little pump and dump.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't hate on him.
I wasn't a fan of that either.
No, but you know, he's doing big things for you know AI. So I can't say too many bad things about that. But speaking of Elon, let's look at that Tesla.
Sure.
Okay. So Tesla is, it's rejecting a little bit, but I mean, it's still holding that trend. And so, I mean, it's breaking below the 9 EMA a little bit. Maybe we might see a little bit of a retest around 265.56 to this trend line here. Just a little bit of a pullback. Want to see what it does there. Wouldn't be surprised if we get there, but I want to see a bounce around that level for the continuation of the long because I am still looking at this day's high around 269.60 for that continuation. And then what else are we looking at? I'm looking at this Amazon. I was going to add, actually, I put in an order, what was it, 190.02. I was trying to get filled there. Just posting there. We were coming down around 189.69. Not liking the look of that yet. I mean, I don't feel like we're necessarily wrong yet. I feel like I'm going to put my stop loss order around 189.36. If it gets down there, then I don't really like it as of right now. We'll wait and see if there's a bounce there, but not looking too great. Just for a little bit of a pullback. I won't get too stressed out yet, but looking at that. And then someone's saying ATT. Oh my God. ATT. Oh, wow. Yes, this is... I've never heard of this ticker, actually. That's interesting. This is interesting. It's breaking above this Monday, October 14th high, which is really interesting. As long as we can hold that, the continuation for the long looks really strong for the people that are kind of getting in late. So looking at that, where is my bus stop level? I mean, bus stop level 380, just that next even dollar level. And then looking here on higher time frames, looking back, Wednesday, July 31st is the next bus stop level, and that is at $382. So don't think that is out of reach either. What I really like about this trade is the fact that once it gets up here, it's consolidating, and then it looks like it's breaking up to the higher part of the range, looking for the continuation of the long. It looks like a little bit like a liquid there, but it is trending up, and so that looks really decent to me. I mean, despite all that, or actually, well, that was on the 1 minute. I lied. The 30-minute looks really good, not too liquid. But holding above that level, really like the bounce off of that 378, clean break off of that 378, and then we're going to the upside with that ATT looking great, and we're going to Adara.
We have a really interesting story here. Today, we're going to talk about MicroStrategy, MSTR, and its CEO, Michael Saylor, who tweeted a few hours ago that he basically is interested if Satya Nadella and Microsoft want to invest in MSTR. Basically, they pitched Bitcoin, in Bitcoin. They pitched Bitcoin as $1 trillion opportunity specifically for Microsoft and saying that it could drive their sales, saying in part because Microsoft and MSTR are both tech companies, but saying Microsoft doesn't actually have this this Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy apparently has outperformed Bitcoin by 313%. So MSTR and Michael Saylor are saying, hey, we're doing better than you, Microsoft. Come invest in some Bitcoin. Excuse me. Thank you. Really interesting look here, though. So basically, Michael Saylor apparently, I don't know if this is taunting or a legitimate request here, but saying that, you know, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, MSFT, you might be doing as well as we are over here. I thought this was pretty interesting ahead of their earnings report on Wednesday because MSTR here, the 15-minute chart, nice push higher after this bottom that we made here, 192.80s. This is an area that served as support for quite a few days here on the 15-minute starting on October 15th, and we break out of it starting on October 18th. Also here, this is actually going to be our first report for MSTR since they had their stock split, their 10-for-1 stock split on August 5th, I believe, early August. So we'll have to see how MSTR performs. But either way, Michael Saylor apparently feeling pretty confident about their performance. We'll have to see how this all unfolds, guys.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. Yeah, I like Michael Saylor. He's a real fan of fiat currency, isn't he? Thinks it's worth a lot and going to be worth more in the future. I'm being completely sarcastic.
Yeah. I'm like,
he doesn't like fiat currency at all. And he really is a true believer. You kind of feel like he really believes in crypto. So, and I know you're all in that world as well. So.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. All right, guys. The Katina Man is back at the desk. Katina Man, you want to update us on the positions because more Trader TV. The Katina Man is in no positions at the moment. He's waiting for that 270 break and take. And can you guess which stock? I'll give you one. It's TSLA 269.44. PLTR, by the way. And guys, I got to tell you, I sent this to the Katina Man yesterday, and I want to let everybody else know about it. What's his name? Alex Karp had one hell of an interview yesterday with Morgan Brennan on CNBS. And look, I'm not going to pump CNBS, but you guys got to watch this for Michael Karp. The dude is next level, let me tell you. He says some stuff. I'm going to let you, everybody go and watch it. Newton is going to break down here. I'm long at 137s. If this breaks 110, I'm gone, Ram. If I can show the chart, it's going to have to hold up at this level over here. That was previously the halt level. I don't mind zigging and zagging with this, but if it's gonna break down between 110, I'm gone, Zeno. Slowing down a little bit here is NWTN. I didn't expect the tape to slow down like this, but it looks like it's bleeding, right? There doesn't really seem to be a bid. Keep your eye on the left side of the book. Is there anything moving up or showing up on being posted, they say, on the bid to kind of give me, confidence that the buyers are stepping in just like me? And I got to tell you, I don't like what I see so far. The bid's getting eaten up here. And if I do a quick comparison between the bid ask, it looks like there's more size sitting on the ask. We're moving up, though. How's that happen? Well, because probably iceberg orders or orders that are posting basically not sitting on the bid. Oh, we're gonna break down over here, so I'm getting out of this. This isn't enough for me on that one, so that will be my first L of the day. We get caught in that halt. Not gonna do it again. 110. Looks like it is holding up over here though, so we'll keep tabs on that. But to go back to the Alex Karp situation, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick look at it, obviously, so that we don't get demonetized. But it is yesterday with the L3 Harris. So we know that Palantir made a deal with L3 Harris yesterday. So it was Alex Karp and the CEO of L3 Harris talking about their partnership. And my man was dropping lines like, I like him, but it was really aggressive. Anyway, I'm going to stop waxing poetic about it right now. If you guys are interested in listening to that, you can guys go ahead and listen to that. Jaspreet, SGMO, West, y'all. It's CNBC. I know. It's a joke, brother. It's a CNBS. You don't have to be so literal. Proper paradox, DJT. Looks like it's potential again. Absolutely. Let's have a look at, no, it's still putting in lower lows and lower highs. It's gotta take out that 38.80 flat top that it's been zigging and zagging with. Random oddities. That was VWAP though. I know, brother, but like I couldn't really risk it dropping off because the thing is, if I'm caught in a down halt, I can't get out because it's not gonna let me sell. It'll let you buy, but you can't sell. I tried to get out at a $1.25. I couldn't get out because we were in the halt parameter, that 10-second halt parameter. So I didn't want to be caught in that again, right? So I realized what you're saying, but I had to manage risk a little bit there. Havana Weddy, 30 minutes till the Trump JRE episode drops. I didn't even know. Joe Rogan experience. I didn't know that. Apparently, I'm just saying what Havana Woody said. He said 30 minutes till the Trump Joe Rogan experience episode. Ooh, Adara, Katina Man says Adara's going to source check that, Havana. So shout out. Adara's like, what am I checking? Yeah, well, the Katina Man's taking care of that. All right, so that's what we're looking at right there. What was that ticker that the due to SGMO? Let's have a look at SGMO because the chat was saying that one was going. So we'll have a look quickly there at SGMO. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, what do we got over here? It's a dollar stock, and we've only done, we've done 8.6 million shares on the day. It's not bad. This one, the volume really came in fast and furious over here for whatever reason at 1. But the volume is still, look, it's not bad. It's an $8 name with 8 million shares. I mean, $1 and change with 8 million shares. It's not my favorite. It's certainly not my favorite. So I'll keep it on the side chart over here. If it wants to keep moving, definitely get involved with that one. What else? What are you looking at over there?
ASTS right now. Someone shouted it out in the chat, and I really liked it. Had to take that scalp. I got in around $26.58. Took profits around 26.72s, again at 80s, and then I'm holding a piece for the dream with a break-even stop. So I think I'm gonna let this ride. I think, you know, for the first time ever, I'm not gonna scalp this out. I'm just gonna wait for it to hit my stop loss, or I might move that stop loss up if we break a level. I don't wanna see it break around 26.88, so I think I'm gonna put my stop there. If it comes down there, don't really like that, but I feel like, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think hold the piece for the dream at a break-even stop, or?
Astis is a former runner, so this can go.
This can go? Okay.
I don't know if you had to I look at the daily, but this thing can go. And we've been calling it Astis for a hot minute.
Really?
So,
okay. Yeah, I was looking at that bus stop level, and I'm like, that bus stop level doesn't seem like it's out of reach, to be honest. So you know what? I'm just going to put in a break-even stop. If it's break-even, so I'm not going to lose anything. So I think that holding it for the dream is something that I'm going to do. So you saw it first, guys. Sateo holding on for the dream for the first time ever on the show. So shout out to that. And then there goes DJT. DJT, what are you doing?
Get it, Donald.
Let's go. Okay, it looks like it's breaking above this trend line, trying to get up there. Yeah, we want to see that 39 really get up there. It's breaking down, but we want to see it get up there. So what are you looking at, Sharif?
I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at. Donald John Trump. Let's see if this one wants to take it. Uh-oh. The Katina Man's put on the hood. And that's a dangerous sign right there. Shout out to the Katina Man. How's the gym, brother? Swimming. The man. Oh, you got some water in the ear? Yeah, that's a little annoying. What'd you say? He said, what'd you say? Yeah, shout out to the Katina Man over there. I think we're cruising for a bruising here, Satea, because I think I'm going to get long again on NWTN. It's holding up at this area. It's exactly what the individual in the chat said. It's holding up at VWAP. So I'm giving this one the old community college try. And that's the situation. So we'll put the out over here. We'll put it at, we'll put it at 98s or whatever. There's a sitch. Okay, so we're going to let this one run if we can. And we'll sit up here for a possible beak wetter up there. Oh. Yeah, DJT zigging and zagging. Oh.
It was in the money, then it's out the money. What's going on, DJT?
Astis or DJT?
DJT.
Adara, what do you got for us?
I have, in fact, fact-checked this DJT situation with regards to Joe Rogan. So Donald Trump has confirmed he will be appearing on the podcast. Wall Street Journal reported this a few days ago. Donald Trump since has confirmed it. However, it is worth noting from what I'm seeing here, there is no set time. It's unclear when he is set to appear. on this public podcast or when it's going to be released. Just some facts here about the Joe Rogan podcast. For those unfamiliar, it's going to be an unscripted conversation for about an hour. No handlers are present. This was as noted by Wall Street Journal when they initially reported this. So we'll really have to wait and see. We don't have a time. He said to film it on Friday, but unfortunately we don't know when this is going to be released. And Donald Trump has confirmed he is going to be appearing. So let's see what happens with regards to DJT. Unfortunately, I don't have a time, but I do have Donald Trump confirming he will be attending.
Appreciate that, Adara. Fantastic look. Again, anything new, we'll bring that to you guys right away. It's Adara, the Neil's looking at things, Satya, the Katina man. We're all doing our best. So as soon as anything breaks with respect to that, we'll bring that to you. All right, I'm in Newton and I wet my beak here at 20s. I've set up another beak wetter at a quarter. Let's see if this one wants to hold the volume weighted average price to zig and zag. Finding resistance, a seller of note at 20s right now. $1.20. There is big boy selling on NTWN. I'm in another position over here. I'm in LTBR. I got in. Where'd I get in? 52s. Oh, come on, bro. You go up to 65. You don't print me. I was waiting for a 65 break and take. LTBR. Reason I got in at 50s, because that was the resistance level we had been kind of using the entire day. So I said, look, if we're going to clear at, maybe we use 50 as support now that we've cleared it. So LTBR, 27.33% on the day. It was doing that VWAP hold high of daybreak trade that I always yap about, where it makes that big move up initially, consolidates sideways during that illiquid time of the day, aka the midday, and then usually breaks when the liquidity comes back in, breaks the high of the day is what I mean. So that's what I'm doing right now, LTBR. And this trade on Amazon is just coming all the way down. I've lost like already 50 pennies off the top, being stubborn, not wanting to take it out at 190. I was looking for that 190.05. Let's move back now to NWTN. So I got that beak wetter at 120, but it's not breaking 120. So I put my stop already on this bad boy. Hopefully I don't get caught in another downhole and we print at that $1.25. I'm gonna set up another beak wetter over here at $1.30. So there it is. We'll post that one on there, see what comes of that. Satya, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this ASTS, and so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna move my stop up a little bit, so I wanna make sure that it doesn't break this prior bar low. So I put a stop order at 26.75, 26.74, and it will close out in a profit, but I do wanna see this run because this is looking strong. Still, my bus stop level for the people that are just tuning in is around 30.60. I think reasonably we can get there. So that's what I'm looking at on there, and it's running and it's going, and I don't think it has any instance of slowing down as of right now. But if we do slow down, I'm gonna exit the profit in the money. And then someone is saying our IRBX moving.
Wow, Amazon.
IRBX. Let's see what you're doing here. IRBX. Is that a thing? IRBX. Why didn't it pop up? Okay.
You want me to look?
IRBX.
I think it's IBRX.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's IBRX. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah,
IBRX.
42 and change, yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting. This is, not something that I typically trade, but what I can see from here is this pre-market high break, really like that. Broke off of that. It's trailing this 9 EMA, really like that. What I don't like though is on the RSI, it's a little bit approaching that overbought kind of level, but I mean, it still looks strong. I feel like until we start breaking that 9 EMA, it doesn't look too bad there. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, getting a bounce off of there, maybe around 595 for that dip buy. As long as we could stay above that 9 EMA, this still looks pretty decent and good. Someone saying, can you check out Elf Beauty stock, please? Yes.
So polite. Wow.
Yes. What a nice person. Elf. Oh my God. I love you guys in the chat. You guys are giving me so many ideas. This is insane. So this is looking really good as well. Bus stop level that I'm looking at is around 113. Really like the fact that it broke above this day's high. not the day's high anymore, but it was the day's high in the morning around 10:30, and then we are trailing that 9 EMA. What I really like is it's approaching this kind of psychological level around 110. And so if you're trying to get in, if you're not in already, I would say maybe a little bit of a dip buy around 109.65 for the potential continuation of the long, or you could possibly post an order here around 110.10, and hopefully you can get it on the way up as it's moving there. So definitely looks interesting. I want to see, I'm very interested, like what is the ATR for this stock? This one's around $5.30. It's moved one, okay, so I feel like we still have about like $2, $3 for this thing to run. So that looks really decent. I want to see a bounce off of this level here on the 9 EMA. If we can hold that, that looks pretty decent as well. And then someone's saying, crowd.
Oh yeah, it's still going.
Damn, let's take a look at that. Oh, wow, yeah. I think this is nice for the pullback as well. Like it came down, went back up, and then I like that it's still below VWAP. And so I would like really to get in for the continuation of the short here, just because it's below VWAP. I feel like the break I would want to see is around 301, maybe around 390, just for a little bit more confirmation. And if we can catch that, I think the short is still in play. And then David is saying the NASDAQ is flushing. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let's take a look. Oh, yes. See, this is what I was looking for in the beginning. I should have given it more room, but I just wanted to see more confirmation at the time that I was getting in. So really nice. I think I'm going to jump in right here. It's breaking below this level, which I really like as well. Oh, it's running again. It's running away from me, but I think I'm going to hop in there and get in. So let's do that here.
10,000 to 1,000 real quick.
Let's get in there real quick. I want to get filled at 70.
Yeah.
I'll give it around 3 pennies or 5 pennies, and then we're going to get in there. So hopefully we get filled there while it's going on the way down. So hopefully we get filled and get it from there. How about you, Sharif? What do you think?
I'm back in Donald John Pump over here, and we're already taking out some, where am I long? 73s. Just took it out at 88s. Waiting now at 94s. Come on, Donald John Pump. I saw an ascending wedge, and I liked it. So I went long. Ascending higher, low. There it is, Satya, printing on Donald John Pump.
Yes.
There we go. We're going to wait on the north side. We're going to wait at 7s. Lucky number 7, 3907. We're going to wait to see if we can get printed there. This is what I like, guys. Higher, low. With that 3880 acting as a bit of a flat top. We know what ascending wedges do. They typically resolve in the direction of the trend if you believe in technical analysis. If you don't, all good. That's the look there. 39, seller of note at 39, guys. About, I would say maybe a few hundred lots, a couple of hundred lots there. That is. I'm assuming that's not what's being sold because nothing off that lottage is being taken out right now. So it looks like an iceberg at 39 when we were at 39. Oh, come on, bro. NWTN, I'm waiting at 25s. It wicks into 25. It doesn't fill me because it didn't cross. Now it's back down into my entry. I'm kind of lamenting having gotten to this one, but then if it really fills me, then I won't have lamented. So I'm a little disappointed with the fact that I posted at 25 because it printed 12499 technically, according to my platform. So it seems to be defending this $1.10, and it's essentially at VWAP. So we're 3 pennies in the money, nothing to write about now. Donald John Pump is coming back down off that $39 reject, and it's coming in fast and furious into my entry. I'm at 73s, and we didn't take out everything. We only took a couple of fills there. So DJT, let's see now, does it defend 80? I mean, we were yapping about how 80 was the level here, right? Ascending wedge, flat top at 180. We'll see if this holds up. So packing my patience with DJT. What else is going on? I'm also in LTBR, looking for that 750 to hold. I didn't get stopped out, but I haven't printed either. Where am I long there? 52, so we're 2 pennies out of the money. Nothing to write about there. DJT back up to 88s, but I don't like that $39 rejection. Just like I don't like the fact that we're back at my entry on Newton here. Up 100%, you know, you expect this one to run a little bit. It was a multiple halter to the upside. Now it's doing this VWAP dance for whatever reason. and didn't print me at 25. So that's all that I'm in right now in 3 positions, Newton, LTBR, and DJT. And here we go. DJT just gave up 80s big, and it's coming into my entry. So now I'm going to pack my patience over here. If it prints anything 60s, I'm gone. I'm gone on DJT if I see a 60 print on the ask, which is on the right side of the book. Popping up a little bit over here. I didn't put my stop on DJT because I want to watch how it was trading. So we're going to leave that one to cook for a second. LTBR back above that 50 penny area, but I'm sitting at the lofty area of $0.0025. So maybe I need to rethink where I get my beak wetter there. I'm really happy with the fact that I got out of Amazon at the $0.00 because look how much Amazon bled off that 190 flat top. It couldn't take out that flat top. It really tried. I mean, it zigged and zagged. Look at Amazon just tanked, bro. Oh, wow, that's some big selling there on Amazon. We just gave up the ghost aggressively at 189 all the way down to $0.0075. Donald John Pump is coming down, though, into that 60s area that I was concerned about, right back into the top 70s. Adara's got something for us at the big desk. What do you got, Adara?
Yeah, I've been reading here a little bit more about this CrowdStrike situation, so I'm going to summarize what I understand of the story because it's fascinating, and the little headline really only gives you a snippet. So basically, what happened here was George Kurtz, who's the CEO of CrowdStrike, during their earnings report here, this was in 2023, November 2023, so I guess about a year ago now, they said the company has struck a deal to actually sell some cybersecurity tools for the U.S. government, more specifically the IRS. So this deal was struck for $32 million, and it was through Karasoft Technology. This group acts as a middleman between companies and government agencies. So this deal has been struck, but then, however, the IRS apparently has never purchased the software. So we have a deal between between CrowdStrike and a company that is a middleman, but no actual proof of purchase. However, Karasoft's still been paying CrowdStrike for the $32 million. So basically, this has been investigated. Bloomberg saying that this looks a little sketchy. There are legal and accounting experts who have reviewed this, saying this is huge regulatory and legal red flags. So CrowdStrike and Karasoft making this shadow deal with the IRS that actually doesn't have any proof of life. Both companies have responded to Bloomberg saying that they have a non-cancelable order, which doesn't really answer the question. So some legal potential shadiness with CRWD and that IRS order. That is why that stock dropped, guys.
Amazing information there. Thank you for getting that, Sadara. Very important stuff right there, guys. Appreciate that from you. Dara always doing the absolute most in a great way at the big desk, keeping us apprised of why things are moving, what's moving. And shout out to her, man. Great, great look. What are you doing over there, Satea?
Yeah, so I was looking at the cues and wow.
Muted, Satea. Muted.
I'm so sorry. I was looking at the QQQs and wow, guys, that was crazy. So I was looking at this break here of 497.83 and you guys saw me kind of fumbling, trying to get in quick because I knew that this was going to be the breakdown. This was the breakdown that I was looking for initially when I got in here, but we had that little bit of a bounce here. But I think what I really want to share with you guys is something that I've been working on. I've been working on a trade called the 2 VWAP touch. And so what it is I want to see a breakthrough VWAP. So it came down, it broke through VWAP, and then it broke through VWAP again. And this second break below VWAP gives me more confirmation that I want for the breakdown of the short. So that is what I'm looking at. That is why I had to get in. I usually don't fumble in and get in like that, but I had to. Like, it was just telling me you need to get in now, and that's what I did. And then I also had the confirmation of the 9 EMA curling down and trailing on the 3 minute. So really like the look of that. So Adam said we had confirmation. We got that print after lunch hour, got that breathe into 9 EMA, and then tank from there. Bang. Yes. And so I really liked that as well. The 9 EMA really helped me in this trade, and then also to my 2 VWAP touch, and then the break of this level here. So really like the look of that. And then someone else, David, he said, nice short. I joined you. Shout out to you, David. You probably printed up a storm there. I got out a little bit early. I'll show you guys my chart here. What was it? Yeah, QQQs. So yeah, I got in around what? 497.75, and then I took profits around 61. I mean, I got it out a little bit prematurely, to be honest. You know, there was a nice breakdown there, but I'm more of a scalper, you know, that's just my thing. but because, you know, I was heavily sized there, but that looks pretty decent there for the continuation of the short. Bus stop level that I'm looking at currently is around 495, but what I want to see, though, is I want to make sure that we don't break above this 497.88. I still want to see it below VWAP. But if you guys are looking for the long, I would be looking, you know, above VWAP. But until we get there, I think it's a short day to date. So that is what I'm looking at. And then someone asked a question, but I think I skipped over it. Let's see here. Let's scroll up. GEV, please. Energy play. I might have been a little bit late. Sorry about that. But let's see what we're doing here. Okay, I don't think it's too late at all, actually. I think that it's kind of a similar play to the QQQs. I'm looking at this kind of level here around 295.50. I want to see a break of that level. What I really do like about this trade for the short is the fact that we had this rejection, which was near kind of the pre-market high. Pre-market high was 299.20, so we couldn't even get to that $300 level. Bang down there, try to get up around 298.70. We came down again, and we're really trying that level, but we're breaking down, and I do like the fact that it is below VWAP, so looking at that. But in order for me to get involved, similar to the QQQs trade, I really do want to see the break of this 295.50. Why? Because there is a bounce there, and also too because it's a psychological level. How about you, Sharif? What are you looking at?
I'm just in the same position as NTWN or NWTN, excuse me, guys. I'm keeping an eye on this one. It's really just straddling VWAP right now. I've put in my stops. I'm trying to discern whether this is putting in higher lows or what the situation is. It looks like it is putting in higher lows, but at the same time, it's putting in lower highs. But the trend that preceded it was a downtrend, so this could be bear flaggish. If that's the case, anything below a buck, that's it. It's gone. We already wet our beak there at 120s. I've already got my orders posted, 125, 130. If it doesn't print, we're going to get stopped out. Simple as that. DJT, I got stopped out for the remaining amount. This is more on me than the stock bamboozling me. In fact, it didn't. It's putting in higher lows. I just had my stop way too close to the price action. So higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So that was on me. I could possibly get in again at 70s. What I do possibly see, though, is a head and shoulders forming on DJT, and this concerns me. So a head and shoulders has to be preceded by an uptrend. Check. Got that. Left shoulder, head, really skewed. Right shoulder, looks like maybe they're right-handed. In any event, right? I don't know. So maybe I'm seeing what I want to see here. In any event, like, I'm not going to just force this trade. DJT, it looks good because it's putting in those higher lows with kind of a flat top at 39. Now you could make the argument. Initially, I thought it was 38.80, but now you could kind of, you could definitely make the argument for 39-ish. So you don't have to be first, but I'll keep my eye on that one. Now, LTBR. Bit annoying. I think I have the right trade here. We're above the 10 exponential. We've obviously got a seller of note in the high 50s, low 60s, but we're not flushing either. That's the thing. The bid is still there. It's keeping this stock afloat, or so it seems. So I'm not getting what I want from it, obviously, but not yet anyway. But nor am I seeing enough to take me out of the trade. So it's kind of like that catch-22 where you're really unsure what to do. I'm going to let this one cook. LTBR, I'm going to let it cook, just like I'm letting this NWTN cook. Now, as I look more closely at NWTN, I'm becoming more convinced that this could end up in a flat bottom break. Uh-oh, we got an animation for that. Flat bottom, give or take around $1.10, maybe $1.07. So we'll see. Why did you say it like that? My ear. Ram. All right, we do have Adair at the big desk with Money Talk.
On this very exciting Friday, we have the DXY. I have the monthly chart up because we've had very few red days this month, and that's reflected in a candle that, as of right now, is poised to take out the last 2 months of selling. So DXY finding great support just above that 100 level. I think when you see it on the daily or the monthly chart, it's even more evident how strong we've been this month, in a month where we actually haven't had that much economic data as of late. Today, though, we got some prints, higher than expected durable goods and core durable goods month over month for September, and a Michigan consumer sentiment print that hit 6-month highs. 70.5 versus the previous print of 68.9 and a forecast of 69. So great look here for that University of Michigan consumer sentiment print. Now, next week, we are going to get a slew of economic data prints, that's for sure. We'll get JOLTS job numbers on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be a little bit quieter, but there will be that pending home sales and the ADP employment change. Thursday and Friday are going to be huge, though. We'll get the PCE print on Thursday. This is not usually a print that we get on Thursday, but then on Friday, we'll be getting non-farm payrolls. So for PCE here, we are expecting for the core number here, year over year, 2.6% versus 2.7% previous. That's what we're looking at there. Core month over month, people are thinking 0.25% versus 0.1% previous. So a slightly higher core print here for month over month, but slightly lower year over year for expected. Non-farm payrolls here, we've got the expectation of 120,000 jobs versus the previous print of 254,000 jobs. That would be quite the drop if true. So could be a pretty exciting Thursday and Friday next week for the market and for that US dollar. Make sure to vote for your tickers. You only have 18 minutes left to do so. Exclamation point, join, space, $, and your ticker. Back to you, Satya and Sharif.
Animation, then I'll hit this one. There it is, Adair. Thank you. There's a visual in case you didn't hear Adair say it. The afternoon rundown with the Katina Man, with the Neil, is nothing without viewer input. If you guys aren't voting, they've got nothing to yap about, and we can just all shut the show down and go home after that. No, I'm kidding, of course. Let's see what people are voting for in the chat. Drops Family Garden. NWTN playing it right along with you. Sure, I'm out. I got pushed out of that. I'm sorry. Throw it in the chat if you want to hear what Neil has to say about that. He's always trading these small cap gappers. My man C Battles there in the chat talking about S-Bucks. Get into the chat, C-Bat, and throw in S-Bucks as your vote for the ticker. Joseph talking about UPXI. It is back above VWAP, Joseph, and it's on the way to take 13. Nice rounded bottom. Get into the chat, Joseph. Vote for UPXI, another small cap gapper du jour, up 300 some odd %. That doesn't impress you. I don't know what will. What else we got over there? We got Warren talking about Tesla and ARKK. Get into the chat. Vote for it, my man. Gorev talking what will be a great game this Sunday. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Hoping we stay top of the table. You guys will stay top of the table because half my team is injured or our center back is dude, it really is bad. It's bad. It's real bad. Yeah. Like I would say we would beat Liverpool, but we are not going to beat Liverpool on the week. Yeah. We're hurting, Katina, man. Yeah, that's kind of the way it works there. So yeah, it's all good. Anyway, so shout out to you guys. Throw whatever ticker you want in that chat. We'd love to cover it for you. We'll get to it in a hot minute. Yeah, throw it right there. If you don't, Satya is not going to show up again. So I'm just joking.
Don't scare them like that.
The poll, Ram, you want us to do a lot, eh? You really ask a lot of us here, Ram. All right, guys. If you had a stock market genie, this is a great question though. If you had Katina, man, listen to this. If you had a stock market genie that could grant you one wish, what would it be? Here are your 4 options, Katina, man. So let's just zoom this in so I can. Guaranteed 10% annual return, perfect market timing abilities. That's option number 2. Option number 3, Katina, man, lifetime supply of your favorite stock. Or number 4, insider intel illegal help.
I don't even know what any of these things mean. If you had a stock market genie that could grant you one wish,
yes,
lifetime supply of your favorite stock, what does that mean?
I'll take
that. I'll take a lifetime supply of NVIDIA.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. Because it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
So I selected the 10% annual return because I think that if you had enough money put aside and you kept on compounding that 10% over and over and over and over again, then all of a sudden your future is predetermined. You see what I'm saying?
I got you, of course.
It's like perfect market timing. You need to have the capital to begin with. I think 10% return, you can slowly build your asset.
That's a monster in compounding too,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm all about the compounding.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Hey, Randy, what about you? What are you saying? Hey, Randy, any comments on Tesla?
Any comments, Randy?
Randy, are you here?
Just buy the dips.
Cheers. Cheers. We went.
Hey,
we went and got- Yo, sure. If you want a coffee, I'll go get you one.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you, Katina, man.
.to.
Weed. Dot, what?
He said, look at weed.to.
Oh, the ticker, weed.to. Absolutely. So we know that. This is
Here comes
Tilray,
Adara. Hi,
right?
Adara. How are you doing?
Weed.
All right.
All
sure,
right.
you
So
got it.
here it is. It's
I don't
Canopy.
think that's
It's
big
Canopy
enough.
on the.
knows?
Sharif, we're doing a show over here. Just relax for a second. So now everybody can see that you're wearing green today, and I just wanted to say that the market at one point was up almost 1.5%. How do you feel about that?
I feel like the Adara, we're all cheersing. Shout out. I feel like the Adara indicator apparently is still working. Also, I'm pleased to announce I am green. I took $2.50 on CrowdStrike.
Kaboom.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Please just punch there. Yeah, I mean, just chilling, just trading, wearing some green.
Do you like my like maroon pants? Okay, that's
Prepared for the maroon pants.
hold this mic. Where?
Five, apparently.
This
I
is
mean, I
fantastic
thought-
stuff,
I
bro.
love this work. I love this
This
show.
is
I love
fantastic
this team.
stuff, dude.
We try. We do. We succeed. Cheers.
Cheers.
gonna have some coffee.
And to Randy. Randy, you and I have been talking a lot about Tesla and how they can possibly scale up production, Randy, because we're worried that they may not have capacity to make what we're calling, you and I, or everybody around here, the Model 2. They don't got capacity because they're already kind of almost at capacity where they're at. So you and I were discussing off camera that the opening of the Mexico facility could markedly change that.
Texas, we have Berlin, and we have China. They're mostly all producing Model 3s and Ys, with the exception of California.
Right.
Texas's batteries, the Cybertruck, whatnot. Eventually, if there's a robotaxi or a Model 2 coming, where are they going to build it? Now, Mexico was on the table
Exactly.
9 months ago. They've got some approval down there from the state authorities to get the planning going and all the rest of it. Is it going to be instant? No. You got to remember, everybody builds cars in Mexico for one
Right.
reason. The labor costs are way
sure,
lower.
man.
So you've already got the likes of Ford and Can-Am and a bunch of Mercedes-Benz, a bunch of other ones down there already, building cars for decades. With the labor costs lower, and they can keep the cost of the potential Model 2,
Right.
whatever they decide to call it, if they can keep that lower and keep the labor costs low, keep production overall, supply chain costs
Yep.
lower, this is then more profitable. Okay.
You and I also discussed a different alternative, too.
Well, the other thing is you got to get around the tariff
About
somehow.
Berlin.
You've got to get around the tariff somehow. They
Exactly.
could build in, but they cannot build in Shanghai because of the
Exactly.
tariffs. So, does Berlin have capacity today? No.
No. Yeah.
Are they working on expansion? Yes.
Yes,
So there's
yes.
a huge. It was on. Was it Reddit? I think it was Reddit. A big parcel of land adjacent to the existing
to the-
production. Yes.
Nice.
It's already there. They need electric supply and utilities and all the rest of
Sure.
it, but the potential is there. So yes, they could build a Model 2, perfect for Europe, small streets, small cars.
All right,
in Berlin down the road. But I think Mexico's probably going to be the first strike.
So that my question to you was, from your experience, Randy, because they built out, they've expanded in the past, like their production capacity. How long of a turnaround time are we talking here, Randy, in terms of them possibly? Because he's talking about 2025. He's going to start delivering some of these robo-taxis.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
take some time to
we
build out
don't
that,
know
right?
that much about
Yeah.
the platform, other than the fact that it's a skateboard chassis. You can build on the skateboard chassis whatever
Right.
you want. You can build a 2, a 3, a pickup. You can build anything you want. But how much volume are they expecting from the sale of this? Is it
Right.
going to be low volume initially? Perhaps. Not as profitable as a Cybertruck, of course.
Of course, yeah.
So they've got to
Cheaper.
keep costs in line. So I doubt they'd build it in the States, and I really doubt they'd do it in Berlin to get off the ground. I think they want to do Mexico as a
Mexico.
pilot.
That makes sense.
Get get the model off the ground, get their labor built down there, the battery production down there, with an absolute baseline cost. If sales take off and there's a full Model 2 on top of the robotaxi, a 4-door Model 2, then you've got a more cost-effective platform that can then duplicate that in Berlin, where we have smaller cars in Europe.
And
then
talk
go from there.
Let's talk about the logistical aspect of it too, Randy. Like they probably want the U.S. market to be the first market they deliver the robo-taxis in. What better area to build it, obviously, than in the States? But if that wasn't feasible, the country right next to them.
Yeah,
Mexico. So they're easily deliverable, as you said, NAFTA covered, so no tariffs, this, that, and the other.
Yeah. So with the tri-party agreement in place, they could ship across the border from Mexico to Southern California to wherever else they want to trial this platform and deploy it without, again, tariffs, and still take advantage of the labor costs. So I think it's a go. Do we have a plan? No. Has Elon promised before? Yes. Delivered? Well, at some point, but we're going to wait. I think we're going to be forced to wait for a while, but there's no details.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do we get a robo-taxi delivery in 2025?
No.
No. I legitimately, you know I respect the hell out of what you say, so I asked you that.
There's two components here. There's the car, which we know they can build. There's also the software. And the software comes with a numerous pile of hurdles.
Okay.
From regulatory to government control and all the rest of it. Are they betting against Uber and the other self-driving Waymos and whatnot? No.
Right.
Do they want to compete? Yes. The cost has to be combined. They're not going to release the robotaxi software to regular owners right away. It's going to be a combined platform. Sean can't hear.
Yeah.
So there's hurdles, we'll call it that, challenges. Okay. And if Elon, manages to wiggle his way around those challenges, which we think he's capable of, we know he's capable of.
We've seen it
but
before.
It all takes time. And again, the hardware, we need Mexico up and running to build the platform very cost effectively.
But I like how you make that very specific point here, Randy, that skateboard, that keeps costs low.
Yes.
It's a multi-use platform. It's something that car companies are doing all over.
Yes.
From the Urus to the Q8.
The Cayenne,
and the
Touareg,
Volkswagen
and
Atlas.
the Q7, and yes.
And they're all built on the same platform.
All built on the same MEB platform.
Yep.
It's PPE now, which is Premium Platform Electric. So you've got, a skateboard chassis. You've got 5 brands, 6 different models, all in one platform with parts commonality. Your costs and your parts costs, supply chain costs are much, much lower.
Much better, yeah.
So if you can keep your costs down from the get-go, profitability is higher. Commonalities are higher, familiarity with servicing is easier. So they can follow that model, and they will.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a matter of time and a place to build it.
He needs a better cost point. All right, you guys got that daily dose of Randy's rants, and it's always going to be about interesting stuff, baby. I love having Randy around here. I don't think there's a day that goes by where I'm not talking to him about cars, picking his brain. The dude knows what he's talking about. He loves what he does.
He does.
And I love being around to kind of
we got to get Randy trading.
Osmosis. Yeah, man. I think he's done the show before. Pretty sure he has. All right, Satya, finally here. LTBR. All right, we took this bad boy at 52s, out at 65, out at 70, waiting for that 75. I'm not taking any more out here. It's really respectful of the 10 exponential moving average. Great higher low, higher high. Kind of took that $77, not 70, $7.50 kind of high of day, flat top, and really went to town with it. Very respectful, again, of the 10 exponential. So I'm trying to pack my patience with this trade, taking it to the top side. Good look. We're going to pack our patience. What do you got over there, Satya?
For sure. So someone was asking about the QQQs and whether or not there would be a bounce. And I said in the chat, we're waiting for that bus stop level, 49.50. Okay, we're there. And so I want to see what it does from there. If we could break, maybe we might see a possible bounce there, but I want to see what it does there. So that is what I was looking at. And then someone was saying DJT in the chat. And of course, DJT starts to move up when we punch out. Were you still in that, Sharif?
What?
The DJT?
No, I got out.
Yeah,
oh my God.
See, this is exactly what we wanted.
God.
And so, I feel like we should have given it a little bit more room, but it was bleeding a little bit. And I was just like, let me just get out because it's been stalling for like so long, but we are bouncing back up. And I mean, I'm just tired as of right now. I would get in, but I still think it's a great trade. I want to see the break of that 39 though, but I've been fighting with this DJT, and so I'm tired of you. I'm gonna stop with that. And then
it's a bit of a bamboozer.
Yeah, it is a bamboozler for sure. So, might move on to something else. But looking at GEV as well. And so I was looking at this, and I was saying that this one was similar to the QQQs in terms of structure. Doing my 2-man VWAP touch, did that, broke this, bounce here, and we're going to the downside. And we're going to a dare?
No, we're going to pay some bills.
Pay some bills.
There's a lot of bills to pay around here, Satya.
For sure.
E-signal, Ram? All right, guys, are you ready to trade smarter, not harder? Fabian said yes. Katina Man said always. Upgrade to that elite trading experience where you'll be able to analyze, you'll be able to strategize, and hopefully after that, you'll be able to capitalize, foresee those profitable opportunities with the platform that meets all your needs. You get infinite data, you get instant trading. You know where the market is moving before others with that lightning fast execution and data. Charts that change the game, you get to customize. You can analyze the markets faster in your way. And we all know a good trading plan requires back testing. You get back testing here. You get better back testing. You get better scanning. You can predict the future by understanding the past, hence why we back test. You also get reliable real-time data, up to the second market information from hundreds of global markets. It's everything you need. It's all in one place, so don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. If you're ready to elevate your trading, you will scan that QR code or click the link in the description for the information. Shout out to the great folks at eSignal, and I got a yap about this.
Yeah.
We're about to get eSignal up on here. November 1st, we get live accounts. So there'll be one on your computer, one on mine, and we'll be able to do all the scanning, because I know you were asking me, but where do you get your scanner from?
Yeah.
So there's going to be one built into that bad
Okay,
boy.
great, awesome.
So
I'm
both
really
of us can
excited.
trade small cap gappers.
Yay! Super excited about that. Yes.
She says sarcastically.
I mean, I'll take a look. Maybe I might dabble a little bit. We'll see what the fun's all about. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We wet our beak here at a couple of times on LTBR. I'm still waiting for that 75 print, though. It's coming down into the 10 exponential. You know, I'm not giving this any more room other than 40s. It breaks this area trough over here. It's going to have to hold up above 40s. Otherwise, I'm not interested. We've already de-risked a little bit here. I was looking a little bit more lofty in my ambitions. I was thinking maybe an 8 break and take, but if it breaks below 40, obviously I'll have to put those aspirations to the side. And so I'm going to keep my eye out on LTBR. It's been a good look for it today. We also know that, 188 bounce here on Amazon. Beautiful hold at 188 on the Zon. To kind of shadow maybe a 20,500 hold on the Fuge. It was a big boy drop on the Fuge. We dropped over 200 points from the top, 20,707 HOD. We just double bottomed Katina Man at 20,524. No, lower than that, way lower than that, sorry.
I'm gonna go call the wife.
The Katina Man is going to go call the wife, so he's uninterested in what I have to say. The low there was 20,484, so well off the top there. Amazon kind of shadowing that 20,050 hold up by holding up at 188. It was real blood there on Amazon. Uninterrupted $2 drop. And now it looks like it might be trying to do a nice recovery over here. So AMZN, 1% in the green. Finding support at 188. It's about 40 pennies above that level now. So Packer patience, see what comes from that. LTBR back to 62 pennies. That ain't it for me. I'm waiting for 75s. Satya, what do you got over there?
Yeah, so I was just going to mention LTBR because there was a super chat for that, but you just
my
mentioned.
bad.
Yeah, you just mentioned that. So, so I was looking as I was just flipping through the tickers. I was looking at the QQQs, and it got to that 495 level, and it looks like we're bouncing a little bit up. We're approaching that 9 EMA. I think now someone was asking, you know, where's that bounce? And I think the bounce is starting to happen now. I thought it would happen around 495.50, but at that psychological level, that is pretty interesting, and it's strong. Look at that 2 strong 3-minute candles. So it looks like, yeah, we are fighting up. So if you guys are holding those shorts, maybe cover a little bit, and you know, maybe break even stop, or you know, but it's looking like a little bit of a bounce here, looking pretty strong. So I'd just be a little bit careful there. So shout out to that. And then someone was saying Tesla in the chat. And Tesla is bouncing a little bit, bounced off, not exactly at VWAP, but we have this bounce here on 265.70, and we're going to the upside, so that looks really interesting. I think, you know, it's bouncing along with the Qs as well, like, you know, and so I think that that is moving in unison as well. And then DJT is approaching this 39, but it's still kind of fighting. It's at 39.85. It's still kind of fighting. We did have that bounce at 38.20, but we do want to see that level 39. We want to see a break of that. I want to see at least 39.10s for me to really be convicted for the continuation of the long. So that is what I'm looking at. Someone's saying, I like EAT. It's going and high short. EAT, interesting. Interesting. I've never heard of this. Let's see. I don't really like the look of this. What do you think about this one, Sharif?
Eat?
Yeah.
I think I'm hungry.
Yeah, right?
Okay, let me have a look. I'm sorry, that was so lame. I couldn't help myself, man. The older you get, the more
The dad
jokey
jokes.
you become. All right, let's have a look at this, Satay. It's an interesting look here. Hey, Ram, we're working over here, bruh. It's a good 15-minute chart, Satya.
You like
I don't
it?
know too much about this. Let's have a look at the daily. What is this rocket? Look at that rounded bottom. Michael Noss would be very impressed. So would Big Spile. Shout out to Big Spile. Yeah, that's a good look there. Oh, look at this, Satya. This is the weekly. Look at that big boy break. Look at that rejection initially at that trough. Then you drop quick as you like. This is a great looking chart. What the hell is this company?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've never
Winkler?
heard of this.
What do they do? All right, it's a casual dining restaurant company. The company owns and develops, operates, and franchises Chili's. You don't say. Maginot. Okay, Katina Man is going to get really upset because I can't pronounce that. It's an Italian restaurant. They have two segments, Chili's and Maggiano's. Maggiano's? All right, so it looks like they own a couple of restaurants. But what's the other restaurant? Adara. What's that company that IPO'd? Cava? Cava that owns all those restaurant companies, right? The only three, eh? Three, okay. Well, this one only owns two, so they're kind of similar. Greek, excuse me. Yes, Greek restaurants. Thank you for that. I do apologize. Yeah, this is, I don't know, man, but these I don't want to call them fast food, but they're obviously restaurant companies. They've been doing well. This is EAT. Have a look at Cava. Cava, my understanding, look at this. It's a dang rocket ship.
Dang.
Look at that, bro. This thing IPO'd in 30 bucks, 140 bucks.
Ooh.
So EAT and Cava are, this is interesting, Satya. I did not know about this. That's a good look. Intraday trading, different story, but this is a monster.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at it like on the day and I was just like, I don't know, but good look on looking on like the higher time frame and you really see like the bullish momentum there on the higher time frame. So shout out to you. I never heard of it. Sharif doesn't seem to have heard of it as well, but you got a good find. So shout out to you for that.
Yeah, shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Someone saying Tesla is meme stop. It works for momentum and short squeezes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fighting words.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that might refute that, but you know, it is what it is. IONQ, sorry, trying to break 17. Let's look at that. We are going to the other desk very soon, but we could take a look at that for you.
Yeah, why not?
So let's look and see. IONQ, let's see here. Okay, so for me personally, I want to see like a little bit of a dip here, 1644, but let's look on the higher time frame. Let's see. Oh, wow. Are we at all-time highs? No. No, okay. This is interesting. So a level that I'm looking at around 21.53, not necessarily for today, but that is an interesting level, around 21.53. That looks interesting for like a swing trade. Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. I like the fact that it's trailing the 9 EMA on the day, like really strong bullish momentum there. Like one little bearish candle on October 15th, but other than that, just strong upside there. So that looks really good as well. And it's pretty cheap, 1680. I don't think that's bad. I think that there's some good upside potential there at 20s. And then the all-time high is around 36.63. So this looks pretty decent as well. What about you? Any comments, Sharif?
Yeah, I just added on LTBR because it dipped into the 20 exponential. I'm looking for a bit of a deeper retracement. So I got 45s. Ideally, I would have got 30, but you don't get to choose, I guess. So now we're going to put a bit of a beak wetter to account for that little dip trade. A little bit lower than the lofty 75s that we've got posted at the moment over here. Let's go ahead and post an offer a little bit above the $0.50. Nothing changes with respect to my stop. It's still going to be this area break. It held up here. It showed you its propensity to elicit buyers at this level. If there's no buyer stepping in on the second time around, I don't want any smoke. Simple as that. So we're going to look to see if we can get printed in the high 50s now with this latest edition on LTBR. I've liked it, not because it's a big mover it's not a big mover, 26%, respectable, but nothing, definitely not the biggest we've seen on the day, nor is it a huge volume mover even. I mean, it's a $7 name, 7.5. It's only printed 3 1/5, almost 3 1/4 million shares on the day. So it doesn't have all that kind of stuff working for it. What it does have working for it is respect for the trend, or so it seems. Here's a look on LTBR. And it makes that big boy move initially, and this is one we've been watching for a few days, so it's not novel for me. It gets a nice little move up to start the day, comes in, tests VWAP. It breaches a little bit, right? Kind of double bottom there, but reclaims it super quick, holds up at VWAP, higher lows, and then we get that big boy break through that 740, 750, give or take that area midday. We come up into 770, a kind of a random area. I didn't expect this to be holding up here, but we need a bit of a deeper retracement now that we've been kind of putting in higher lows and higher highs since 1230. So I was gauging that deeper retracement to be at around the 20 exponential. It looks like it might hold up. We'll see. There's about 4 minutes left on the show. I'm probably just going to put a couple of script orders and a nice spread between my triggering price and my out price. What does that mean, guys? I really want to stress this. If you are not going to use market orders for your stops and you're going to insist on using limit, which I suggest, the way to make sure you don't get into trouble with your stop orders not getting triggered is to put a nice spread, a price difference between the order that triggers the computer to sell and the limit order, the maximum or the minimum, in this case for the stop, that you're willing to sell it at. What does that mean? So let's say, for example, I'm long here 750, 749, okay, on LTBR. I want to get out at 738, but I know that this one's a little illiquid, right? So what I say to the computer is trigger a sell order at 738, but pay as low as 730. Why do I do that? Because there may be an area of illiquidity which may not fill me. So I try to account for that area of illiquidity by increasing the spread on the stop. That usually keeps me out of getting into trouble. It's not foolproof because sometimes that spread means bupkis to the computer. The illiquidity will be bigger than the spread that you put in. So make sure if you're going to use limit orders with these small cap gappers that you're giving it a healthy spread, and yeah, stay out of trouble with them. Any final thoughts that you want to leave them with? We got about 3 minutes left or so.
I was looking at Amazon a little bit. I thought that Amazon was pretty interesting. Oh, and we're going to Adara.
Yeah, we have Bitcoin here on watch, and this crypto space in general. I'm just going to type in IBIT properly here. We do have the Wall Street Journal reporting that there are some federal investigators probing Tether for potential violations of anti-money laundering and sanction rules. The firm could actually apparently face penalties for alleged dealing with sanctioned groups. So Tether facing this DOJ investigation, as reported by the Wall Street Journal, sending BTC to the downside. Here's IBIT with a pretty significant volume spike to the downside, breaking below low of day here and heading into that 38 level, guys.
I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. What does Tether have to do with Bitcoin? I don't know. It's crypto.
Well, because there's like a currency pairs. Like when you're leverage trading, a lot of time it's like Bitcoin, USDT. Like
I see.
So maybe that's why it has, you know, some relation there. But as I was saying before, I'm looking at Amazon as of right now before we leave, and this looks like it's breaking around 188.01. It looks like it's approaching there and may break there for the continuation of the short. So really good look there. Trailing the 9 EMA, like the fact that it bounced there and it's coming down, and so that's what I'm looking at to end off there.
Sounds good. All right, guys, it has been a really interesting week on the market, no question about it. We had Tesla earnings, and we had a 20% move yesterday. Who knows knows where this could go in the next little while as we get more information and as we get closer to the election. So if you thought this week was interesting, I think next week will be just as hype. So yeah, that's my little way of telling you. Make sure to join us again on Monday. It's going to be Joe and I on Monday, but Satya, the crypto queen, is going to be back on Wednesday.
Yes,
and
sir.
we're going to see exactly what she's got for us then, guys. But a couple of, I think, seconds left here before we send it over. I want to say the big kahunas, but there's only one kahuna, and then Fabian. So it's all good there. We shall be looking to send it over there. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. And we shall see you same bat time, same bat channel. Get it, Neil?
Let's go.
What up? We're back.